Good morning. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know on the mic check. Uh, Good morning. Hey, what's up, guys? Can you hear me? How's the volume? I can't hear shit. Can you hear me now? How about now? No sound? No sound still? Oh, now we can. All right. This is weird. I can't hear shit. I cannot hear shit. Oh, I gotta turn those off. It's back? All right. This is weird. I don't like that I can't hear through my headset. Let me see if I can figure out how to do that. I don't know how to do that. Hopefully this works. We're gonna find out. We are gonna find out. It's tin canish. We don't like the sound. How is it now? It's fine. Testing, testing. All right. Sorry. Look, I told him I'd give it a try. We're gonna give it a try. I wanted to see how it worked on a live one. You think it's going through the phone, not my headset? Did that change anything? All right. We might just go back to the mic then. All right. I'll figure this out tomorrow. That's the headset for you. I'll leave the headset on. Let me get the real mic going then. Sorry for the delay. This one. How's that? There's the headset. There we go. You guys can, I'm sure you can hear me now. Sorry about that. Uh, that headset I'll have to mess with a little better. Sorry about the link that's in there. I used it actually for some gaming yesterday. And it was fine. It worked great for gaming. I just hadn't tested it on a live yet, so I may need to figure out how to do that. Anyways, there you go. Thank you guys for all the support. It's allowed me actually to people have started sending me products to try out, which is pretty cool. On my the TikTok I put up this morning, I had. I'll show you. Sorry, get these out of the way. This little thing. It's like you can't see it super well. It's like a mic stand, and this little camera tracks you, so it goes back and forth with you. So that's cool. Anyways, well, that's one cool thing TikTok's added. So I Saturday morning I just had some gifts show up at my door, and I tried them out. But anyways, let's talk about. I don't know if you saw the live this or the TikTok this morning. I'm gonna pull this over here. Hey, and sorry about the time change. I always forget that you idiots have daylight savings. I don't have daylight savings. Nothing changes for me. So it's not a new time for me. It's only a new time for everybody else. In Arizona, we don't do daylight savings. Sure, what's up?
Hi.
Hi.
So how you doing?
I'm good, Pedro. What's up, man?
What's up? What state are you right
Are
now?
you flirting with me right now? This is it sounds.
Flirting? No.
Oh, okay. It sounded like it. I'm in Arizona.
Arizona? Oh no, terrible what those Democrats did over there.
What did we do?
Why you still asking what they do? That what's her name?
Yeah.
The governor over there?
Are you
What's the
asking
governor?
me? Oh, Katie Hobbs?
She is she should be ashamed of herself.
How come?
This woman, she's horrible.
She is?
She's not
Oh
supposed to
no.
be there.
Oh
She not
no.
supposed to be there.
Where was
The
she
one that's
supposed?
supposed
She
to
just
be
went to the
there.
wrong place. Is that what you're saying?
No, no. The one that's supposed to be there is Carrie Lakes. I mean,
Well,
she won there by a
bad
lot.
news. Carrie Lake is still here. I also wish Carrie Lake wasn't here, but Carrie Lake is still very much here, and
Yeah,
and she will not shut the fuck up.
she is there. Yeah, I mean, she is
Yeah.
there. She won. I believe 100% she won the election in Arizona.
Okay, let me check. Let's see.
The
In
fraud
2020.
is so. I think so. Yeah.
Okay, let me look. Oh no, turns out Hobbs won. I
You
just
want to
checked.
believe that? You want to believe that, but that
Well,
stuff,
the whole
that
way I figured
election,
it out is I googled it just barely, and it said Hobbs wins Arizona governor's race. That was AP,
that
and then I
election
was
was
like, wait a minute, who's governor right now? And then I was like, oh yeah, it's Hobbs. So that's how I pieced it all together.
that election in Arizona was stolen. That Katie
Why didn't
Hobbs,
they? Why don't they audit it then?
that Katie Hobbs did not have no followers, no people. How in the world is
No
this
followers.
this
That's quite a
crooked
few
woman
followers.
gonna win the governor over there?
Well, so what happened was on on election day and previous to election day with like mail-in ballots, more people voted for her than voted for Carrie Lake. And so at the end of that, they count up all the votes, and whoever has the most votes, that person wins. And so in this case, it was Katie Hobbs.
That's a whole lie, a whole
No, I
fraud
promise. I
everywhere.
swear to God, dude, I would never lie to you. I live here. Katie Hobbs is the governor. I promise.
I mean, it's a whole lie. It's a whole lie. I
No, I
mean, I don't
promise,
know
dude. I swear on my life, she's governor. I promise you. I
how
would not
I'm
lie to you.
okay, okay, I know she's governor, but
Oh, okay.
she's not supposed to be there. She's not supposed to be there. That woman,
Where was she supposed to be?
she's supposed to be out of office. That woman did not 100%, she did not won the election. That's just
No,
fraudulent.
remember I checked it.
That's a voter fraud stuff that they did
AP
in
reported it.
Arizona.
AP reported it on November 14th of so.
It's horrible what they did to Arizona. It's
What did they do
horrible.
though?
What did they? You didn't see the fraud that they did in
No,
Arizona?
so
These Democrats,
I remember hearing people talking about it, and then they audited the election 3 different times, and after all 3 audits that the Republicans did, it turned out that Katie Hobbs still won. So
I don't know
I
how
know
you
it's
believe that.
frustrating.
How you believe that? How you believe that?
Oh, I believe it because the first time they counted the votes, Katie Hobbs won. And then they counted the votes 3 more times. And the Republicans, they even let the Republicans count them. And which is, I thought was shocking because I was unaware that Republicans could count. And
Well,
they counted all of them again 3 times. And then at the end of that third time, Katie Hobbs, she won the first time, the second time, the third time, and the fourth time. And so I was like, maybe I should just believe this since every time the Republicans recount, Katie Hobbs still wins. So then I was like, yeah, I guess I'll just believe it.
well, if you, I mean, believe. I mean, let's say believe it, but that's not right. That's not
Why
right.
not?
If you believe in that, you believe in a lie. Because
Well,
even Katie Hobbs, even herself, she knows she did not win the election.
bro, you
She knows
went like
that.
0 to 100 so fast. You
She
were
knows
just
that.
so. Why did you get so mad right there? What was that?
I'm not mad. I'm just. It's sad. It's sad what is
It's
happening to
so
Arizona.
sad. It is so sad, dude.
The
I
world
agree.
in Arizona, all the people knows that
No, I'm here. I
Katie
asked.
Lakes
I've asked
was on.
around. I've asked
She
around.
was. She was on top of the far left.
Far
Katie
left. Katie Hobbs is not.
Hobbs.
Hey, Chief. Hobbs is not far left. I hate to break it to you, but
She
Katie
is.
Hobbs.
She is far left.
Katie Hobbs
The
is a
fact.
Democrat. She's a fairly generic Democrat. She is not
Mm,
far left, my
the
friend.
nah. The
What
fact that
far?
she don't.
Could you
She's
think of
not
like a
messing up
far left policy she agrees with?
the the fact that she's not messing a lot right now, Arizona, is because the Republicans on over there in the I think the Senate, right? The Senate, they have a Senate in
The Senate? Is that what you're saying?
the Senate in Arizona.
It
How
is
you
sunny.
how
Yeah,
you
it's sunny in Arizona.
no
Senate
there's a
or
Senate
sunny?
in Arizona, right?
The what?
There's
I'm
two
so sorry.
chambers, right?
Yeah,
There's two
the House
chambers
and the Senate. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just like every other
in
state. Yep.
yeah. The fact that she's not messing up the country because there's more Republicans in control there. That's why.
Wait, wait. So you're saying when you said mess up the country, I assume you meant mess up the state, right?
The state. I mean,
Okay, and so she shouldn't be. She went to the wrong place. She accidentally became governor, and then but luckily we have the Republican Senate, and that's the only reason things went are going okay. Is that right?
that's stopping her
Oh,
far
well,
left.
thank God for those Republicans. I think we ought to fix our elections. If Katie Hobbs can accidentally become governor, I think maybe we should. Maybe there should be. Maybe you should have to like submit your name and get a bunch of people to like sign their name, saying like, yeah, we support her. Like you could go collect signatures before you could get on the ballot or something. Then this wouldn't happen again.
When's the next election of Arizona?
2024.
Oh, so next year. That would be great.
Yep, that's
That would
correct.
be
So it's
great. That would be
2023
great.
currently, and the following year will be
That would be great.
2024. Yep.
But okay, let's get out of Arizona. Let's go to the whole nation, the United
Let's
States.
go there. Let's go. Let's go for a journey here, Pedro. This is enjoyable.
Uh, that stuff that you have there, Republican, convince me I shouldn't vote for Democrats. Well, I mean, no Republican convince you that you should vote that you shouldn't vote for Democrat because I mean
Well,
you're
you're
a
certainly not
Democrat,
doing a
right?
great job of it. I could
You're
say
a
that.
Democrat.
Yeah, but I used to be a Republican.
Why you turn so far left like that?
Oh, because I realized after a while that the things I believed were not true. When I used to think that Republicans were fiscally conservative or fiscally responsible, and they're not. And I used to think that there was like this war on the Second Amendment that Republicans would stand up to, and if the Republicans didn't stand up to it, then Democrats would take it. That didn't happen. I used to think that cutting taxes was good for everybody, and then I found out it's only really good for rich people. So
I think why you do that?
mhm.
Uh, how you start voting for Democrat? Don't you see where they seem right now?
What
What they are doing to the nation?
I do, I
What they
think
are
they're doing a
doing?
really good job.
What they are doing to the country right now?
What are they doing to the country?
You don't know. Oh,
Do you
it
know,
seems
Pedro? Let
it
me ask
seems
you some. Let me ask you a question. I've let you ask me a bunch. What is? Could you just tell me one thing that Democrats did, like a specific thing?
what you mean?
Yeah, you said they're doing something to the country. Could you
Yeah,
tell me the
don't you
thing
see
that
right now?
What?
Don't
No,
you see what
see, Pedro,
what they're
that was
doing?
another question. So I'm just going to ask you the question: what are the Democrats doing that's hurting the country?
Uh, don't you, especially
No,
in
don't say don't you see
in
again.
what's
Just pick
happening
something.
in the Middle East?
Well,
Didn't
that's
you
not
see
in our
what?
country, but we
No,
can
I
talk
mean,
about the
but
Middle East if you'd like. What do you want to
the
talk about with the Middle East?
what Joe Biden did
What did he do?
when he left the whole squad in Afghanistan.
He left the whole squad in Afghanistan, like the squad, like AOC and Rashida
No,
Tlaib.
I'm not talking about those radical left. I'm talking about the military over there.
Did
The
he left the
he told them,
military in Afghanistan?
yeah. You remember when he left the he told the people the the vets to get out fast, out of Afghanistan.
Yeah.
You didn't see that sweep
I
in
have
horrible.
no idea what you're talking about, dude. Who is the squad? What are you talking about?
I don't know how to.
See,
I
the
don't.
thing, Pedro, do you recognize on any level that you don't actually know anything?
I know so
You've
many
just heard
facts.
that Democrats are bad, and you're just saying it over and
No,
over. I'm asking you for
they
like
bad.
anything. I said, just tell me one thing Democrats are doing that's hurting this country, and you said they left the squad in Afghanistan.
That's hurting the
Who
country.
was the squad that they left?
This when I mean the squad, I mean the military, the military equipment. They left everything. He
Yeah.
just told them come when they supposed to stay there, standing up because now they seeing weakness.
Who did we tell to come that was supposed to stay there?
They tell them Biden announced all the vets. I mean everyone to get out and come here, and they left all the military equipment there, and now they have
They
it
did
over
leave a
there.
lot of equipment there. That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm okay with
that's
that.
right.
Yeah, I
That's
don't give a
a
yeah.
waste
I
of.
do. I don't give a shit about that. Not one single shit.
So you don't care about that.
No, not at all.
Then I mean that's your.
What? Why
I
should I
don't
care?
know
Tell me why I should care.
are you
No, tell me why I should care. Don't ask me another question. Why do you care?
you have to care.
Why do? Because I have to care.
It's the
Why?
military. Look, it's the
Yes,
military equipment
It's the military.
of the
Correct.
powerful nation of the United States.
Correct.
How
Why
they
do I
just
care?
left that there?
I
How they
don't
just
care.
left
Why
that
would I
there?
care about that?
Your taxes were in those equipment.
It's true. It's
Your
true. And
money was
I've
there,
historically paid a
and you
lot of
don't care.
taxes in my life. I have. And the fact that I've paid a lot of taxes and I still don't give a shit is my opinion. I don't care, dude.
I
My
mean,
taxes are used for a lot of things. A lot of things. And a lot of those things eventually we stop using. I don't know if you knew that. Do you have a home telephone?
home telephone. I have one, but I don't think it's working.
You don't think it's working. Yeah, we have telephone lines all over the country. Our tax dollars paid for that infrastructure, and nobody has telephones anymore. Sometimes you don't use things anymore. Sometimes it makes more sense to just leave the equipment there. See, the thing is, Pedro, you just want to be upset. So you've been told a bunch of things to be upset about, but you don't know any specifics about any of them. None. You're just upset. You've just been told
I'm
Republicans are the
not.
good guys,
No, no,
Democrats are
no,
the bad guys, and
no.
you've been told to be upset.
I used to. I no.
Yes, yes. Wait, Pedro, yes. Because you can't tell me anything. I've asked you so many questions. You can't tell me a single solitary fact about one single thing. So I don't understand how you can be this upset with and also be this misinformed. Or I guess not misinformed, uninformed. You don't know anything about the claims that you're making. You've just heard them before. And you probably have friends who are upset about it. And
No,
when you
no.
sit there with your friends, you
I,
say
I,
things
I,
like when you sit around with your group of friends, you say things like, yeah, I can't believe he left that military equipment behind. And then all your friends nod in agreement. They're like, yeah, dude, fuck Joe Biden. But none of you actually know why it was left behind or what that means or what impact it has on us. You have just
no.
been
I
told
mean,
something
there's no,
that you had been told something that
there's
on the surface you're like, this must be
no,
bad. Well, then tell me
there's,
why it's bad,
there's
Pedro.
no, there's no reason for you to leave the military equipment over there.
There's
There's
no
no reason.
reason. What? No
There's
reason.
no reason
What do you mean
because
there's no
they
What about this? How's this for a reason? We couldn't get it all out in a timely manner. It's more
that's not a
expensive to
reason.
bring it
That's
back
not a
than
reason.
it was
That's
it
still
would have
not a
See,
reason.
Pedro, it likely would have been more expensive to bring that equipment back than it would be to replace that equipment. These aren't national treasures. This isn't your grandma's journal that can't be replaced. All of that shit can be replaced, and it's cheaper to leave it there and replace it than it is to have a total withdrawal. We would have had to have more troop presence. We would have had to have more. We would have had to have more military on the ground as we got that stuff out. you're talking about the cost of getting it back overseas, like the massive amount of money it would cost us to bring it back. It was cheaper to leave it there. Let's say you have a let's. Oh, Pedro went goodbye. Oh, Pedro, I love you. Stay cute and cool. Have a great summer. Raul. Gee, we got the Sentinels out today. What's up, Raul?
You doing?
Good, man. How are you? So I'm just grabbing something out of my fridge. What do you want to talk about?
Oh, nothing. I'm
Nothing. Just don't want to talk about anything.
no, no. I just want to say that I'm a fan of yours, and I
Thank you.
appreciate everything. The message you're trying to get out there, man. I'm from Texas, and
Oh, God bless you.
yeah, yeah, and I don't know if you're familiar with T.
Yeah,
The
I love tea. Yeah, tea's great.
Yeah, and he came down here to the border, and I wanted somebody to do that because I'm from Texas. I go to the Valley, McAllen, Brownsville all the time, El Paso, and this thing about these Republicans saying open border, people are just pouring in, and it's not true. I've been here all my life, and it's never been like that ever. You know?
Yeah, I live in a border state too. I'm in Arizona, and we've talked about going down there. I'm not sure how we're gonna do it yet, but we're gonna go down to the border as well and just talk to some people.
Yeah, and it's just constant lying, man. Lying. Of course, there's more people trying to uh, get asylum here and all that stuff, but because those countries are messed up, and you can't blame them. They're trying to better their lives, and everybody comes over here. So and I think that's what America's all about. Why do we have the Statue of Liberty?
Because France left their shit here. They forgot to take it back. France is see this. Why is nobody mad at France? We leave our equipment in Afghanistan. Everybody's mad. France leaves their fucking statue here, and nobody cares. And we're just like, that's all right. Just leave it. Just leave it there in the middle of the ocean. It's
and
fine. We'll turn it into a tourist attraction.
it was hurting me that last guy you had on, Pedro, because I mean I'm Hispanic, and it's just these people think they just have so much pride that they want to be right, and I just don't understand it. And it was just I'm sorry to all my brother Latinos and sister Latinos.
It's all right.
It's a
Yeah,
double. What do you call it? Like,
a double-edged sword.
yeah, man, this
Yeah,
guy's Latino. You could tell he wasn't from here, and Republicans here are trying to, just shut everything down, and it's just embarrassing. And I'm sorry, to the Latinos for people like that. They got to get educated. I'm not the greatest guy. I mean, I don't know the laws or anything, but it's just common sense. It's common sense and it's humanity.
sure.
And we've always been that country all the time.
Yeah, I agree. We'll keep fighting the good fight there in Texas for us.
I'm trying to, man. We're trying to get that guy, push him down the hill somewhere.
Good. All right, Raul.
All
Appreciate
right.
it. See ya. Bye.
Thank you.
It took me a second to get Raul's joke. That's not nice. That was not. I do not support pushing the Greg Abbott down a hill. Let's see. What was this dark nutty professor? Was that what that was?
What's up, RTP? This is Nutty Professor. I just wanted to give you a quick update. So I'm the one that gave the challenge in your live.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I wanted to give you a quick update. That again, that one person that you told me that you DM'd me about.
Yeah.
I DM'd her. And I said, "Hey, let's get the process started." Great. You want to take me up on my offer to go to Russia?
Yeah.
Great. Let's get it started.
I
And she just
assume.
wanted to troll my account.
Oh, she's not in. She didn't take the offer. You didn't. She didn't move to Russia.
She look, I'm still waiting to hear back from her.
Okay. Well, do you want to just let the people know the offer for you real quick? The offer
Absolutely,
that's on the table.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So the offer that I have is valid until December 1st of this year. I will personally pay for a first class airline ticket to any of you MAGAs or self-imposed Republicans who want to move from this country and go to Moscow. I will pay first class ticket. Not only that, I will throw in the best bottle of Cristal that I can find. Plus, when you get there, I know you're going to have a place to live. So I will give you 450,000 rubles, which equates to 5,000 American dollars.
It's a good deal. Get your asses to Russia. Get over there, folks.
Of course, of RTP, you know there are strings, right?
Of course.
The only string that's attached is that this will be a legal binding contract, and you cannot come back to this country until after the election of next year.
That's fine. Yeah, that's great.
So that's the only string that's attached. I think well over 1 million people have heard this offer so far. Because I've offered it in your lives, Zeus's lives, T's live. Nobody, absolutely no one has taken me up on this offer. Plus, here's another thing, RTP. I've had other people reach out to me and said, hey, are you really being serious about this? I said 100%. They're like, okay, if you're being serious about this, we will commit to donating to help the cause to make even more people go.
I'm in. I'll help too. Whatever we'll run a fundraiser. We'll do whatever. Any of you red hats want to go to Russia, we'll help you.
Here's the deal. No one has taken us up on that offer.
Shocking.
And since I know you like opposition, so I'm just going to say this real quick and get out of here. I feel sorry for Pedro. Here's why. Pedro, if you're listening, you're gatekeeping for a club they will never let you into, sir. They will never let you in. They don't like you. They don't like people like you and me. They don't like us. They like us up until they can get our votes, and then they say deuces. Now, you're up there simping for the Republican Party, and they're the ones that's calling you illegal. They're the ones calling you an alien. They're the ones telling you to go back home when, damn it, you probably are at home because Arizona, California, New Mexico, all of that was Mexico anyway. So we not only did we take the land from the indigenous, we took it from Mexico too. So there's that. So Pedro, please get educated, sir, because you don't sound like a bad person at all. You're just very uneducated when it comes to politics. And my suggestion would be to get in these TikTok streets and just get in the comments and learn. Don't get in the boxes.
No, stay out of the boxes.
You just embarrass not only yourself, but your community. So, hey, RTP, you do a good job, man. Thank you for everything that you do. And I just want to give you a quick update.
Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
No red hats to Russia so far, but the offer is still open. Demon rats for Hamas. What is this? What is this?
Man, that guy talks about simping. Man, you're just a slave for the Democratic Party, boy. Wake up.
Are you talking to me or him?
No, I'm talking about dark, nutty boy. Who the hell would want to go to Russia?
Well, so what happened?
Hey, here's my.
Wait, hold on, chill. Wait, hold on. I'll tell you the story. Somebody came on and said they would rather live in Russia than under Joe Biden.
Oh,
so he made that offer.
I like Vladimir Putin way better than I like our president.
Then why don't you go?
Because I don't have to. That's why.
No, you don't have to. I didn't say you have to.
I'm allowed to have an opinion, and my opinion is Biden sucks. And all the new.
Well, I understand. Whoa, chill, brother. Chill. Just chill. Let's just have a conversation.
All right.
I was just asking if you do like Putin better, why don't you go there? I didn't say you have to go there. I just was wondering why you don't.
I mean, I'd like to have a vacation over there or something, but you know.
What do you think you would do in Russia for fun?
Hang out and get drunk.
That's fair enough. They got stuff to drink over there. I think that's the only thing to do in Russia. I'm not sure there's another thing to do.
Vodka. I'm not a big fan of Russian vodka.
You're more of a Tito's American made?
No, more like a Grey Goose guy.
All right, I hear.
But I'm not for all this division, but
that was an awful lot of division you came on with there. In all fairness, your entrance was a little divisive.
Because I don't think we should have left all that equipment in Afghanistan. But then again, I'm not running stuff, so I don't know how much maybe it would have been a logistical nightmare to get it all out of there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You remember how we got it over there? Like we had it on carriers, we had it on airplanes. Like it was a lot to get that over there.
One thing I can't blame Biden for is that, like, we had presidents before that. They should have made a better plan. All of it should have been planned out better for like the last 10 years.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
But it wasn't. But no, I'm just saying I wanted to talk about these polls that I keep seeing where Biden is really getting hammered by Trump.
Yes, are you talking about the ones that came out today from swing states?
I seen ones from New York Times and Siena College.
I saw that one. Yeah, Trump's poll numbers in those swing states is huge. I didn't look at the methodology yet. Here's what I'll say. I don't doubt that Trump has a lead in swing states. That gapping is far too big. I didn't see their methodology there, but the gapping in some of those is massive.
And they said there was a 4.4 margin of error.
That's a pretty big margin of error.
Yeah, it's a little bigger than usual.
Here's my only thing with polls. Like I don't think polls are either. I think polls are historically good. They're usually a lot more accurate around election time as people are actually thinking more about it. The problem that we have with polls currently is that nobody answers their phone anymore. So it's really, really hard to get people to answer their phone. And frankly, like more people that are going to answer their phone and take that poll are likely to be, especially in swing states, they're far more likely to be Republicans. Gen Z is not answering their phone. Millennials don't answer their phone. I mean, I'll miss 15 phone calls during this live, and none of them will be ones that I wouldn't have answered any of them.
I agree with that. I do. But
here's the
RTP. The bad thing about all of this is we just don't have a direction. Like our country, I feel like our country is rudderless. You know, like too much division.
Well, let's talk about it. Like, I agree with you. There's division, and I'm certainly not like I'm not non-divisive. I hate the Republican Party, who they've become. I hate that all the dumbest people are in charge, which is a bizarre thing. It's one of the strangest things in American history that the dumbest people in the party are the ones leading it. That's weird. I don't know how that happened. Tommy Tuberville, Republican, is being yelled at by other Republicans because we can't staff our military. There are people who've been waiting for a year for a promotion where they would get a pay bump. And Tommy Tuberville just will not shut them down. Do you know why he's holding them all hostage?
No, but I've read about it, but I don't know like the real.
He doesn't think the military. So in some states, you're not allowed to have an abortion, right?
Right.
But because the military provides insurance, they cover if you're getting an abortion, you want to go out of state. They'll cover you traveling out of state. So Tommy Tuberville, because he's so pro-life, is saying we can't have any military leadership until we get rid of this rule. And he's single-handedly using a shitty rule to hold up, I think it's over 400 nominations now.
Well, I mean, I can't get behind that. But listen, I'm not all for Republicans. About 95% of them we could do without. But I feel
who are the good ones? Who are the ones you like?
Oh, I like ones that you probably hate, but at least they have the balls to stand up and say how they really feel instead of just simping out and going with the flow of the destruction of America.
How do you feel like this America's being destroyed? Because honest to God, that's one thing I don't understand. I understand people not liking the politics, but to say America's being destroyed is silly a little bit.
But we're being destroyed by that national debt. That's
not really though.
I mean, I get it. In all businesses, you have assets and liabilities. Our liabilities are 34 trillion, let's say, round numbers.
Yeah, but a lot of that we owe to ourselves.
But I mean, we have a lot of assets. We do, it's not all bad, but we need to straighten up. We have too much divisiveness. Even in the Democrat Party, I read the other day that two congressmen from the Democratic Party were threatening to fist fight each other over the Israeli Hamas.
I saw that. I'm actually pro Congress punching each other. I think.
No, I mean, I think
we can get a little more done.
How about
wait? But I had a question about the deficit. Like, if you're worried about the deficit, you.
Well, I mean, I'm not like losing sleep over it at night, but I think we need to. We're very wasteful. That's the problem. We've become like this throwaway nation. We waste too much. Then we talk about we want to go green, But do we really want to go green? Do we really want to help the environment? It's like we say one thing and we completely make a right turn and do the complete opposite.
Sorry, I had a notification come up. Not to change the subject, but I did want to ask, like, the Republicans inflate our deficit more than Democrats.
Oh,
So
I
if
agree.
that's like your big thing, then again, like, why Republican?
No, well, it's not that I'm all Republican. There's a few Democrats I like, and there's a few Republicans. But
Okay, but why vote
it's
Republican?
just,
Like, for example, if you vote for Trump, if Trump wins in 2024, you are going to see the national deficit skyrocket. You're going to see 4 years of Donald Trump trying to get retribution for every single person who said a bad thing about him. You are going to instill fascism with Donald Trump. There's no doubt about that. If you have any doubts about that, read what he says. Read his
yeah, you know
website.
what?
Listen
Our,
to what he says. Read Project 2025. I honestly, here's what I think, and you can help me with this. I think people were really upset that Joe Biden beat Trump, and they didn't see that coming, and they don't like losing, and they don't want to admit that they were wrong. If Republicans were honest, they would look at this and say, Joe Biden wouldn't have beaten anybody in most years, but he beat Donald Trump. And
yeah,
you
I
guys
agree.
should look at that and say, like, we are picking the worst possible candidates.
Oh,
It,
listen, but I don't think he's going to be I don't think he's going to be the candidate at the end of the day. I think the Republicans are going to coalesce around somebody else.
I
I
think
don't know.
so.
I just have a weird feeling.
But so are you saying you would rather have 4 years of actual fascism, exploding national debt, fascism, um, uh, an expansion of executive powers, just so that Joe Biden's not president anymore?
Well, now that you phrased it like that, I don't know. RTP, I'm just as confused as the next guy, I guess.
It,
But
I
it
just
just
it's a weird thing because I feel like Republicans, if you want to come up here and say Nikki Haley, you want to say Chris Christie, and we could argue back and forth on politics or direction on what policy makes sense. We could argue that, but with Donald Trump, the argument is that this is an actual fascist and he's running on revenge, and the people that love him, they love that part of him, and that's what scares me the most about this country is that there's roughly 20 to 30% of the people in this country who care about nothing more than getting revenge and smashing Democrats and getting rid of like any sort of liberalism, any bit of wokeism. That's the whole thing. They just don't want people to be able to have beliefs that are different than them. Donald Trump's actually he's advocating for free college, like government sponsored college that is
yeah,
just
that's all. I don't know. I don't get that.
that's pretty crazy, right? Like he said no woke. So what? You can't be gay? You can't talk about like you can't talk about civil rights? You can't talk about slavery? Like I don't even understand how Republicans are hearing this shit and thinking anything other than, "Oh my god, like this guy's a fascist." He's a crazy person and he's leading and he's going to be the nominee. He might still be the nominee from jail. Republicans are so dumb that they might nominate Donald Trump. This scenario could actually happen. Donald Trump
I
could
don't know,
be
buddy.
not on the
I'm
ballot.
not all on board the Trump thing.
But hold on, let me just finish. This scenario could happen. And I'm not saying you're on board with this, but the scenario of Donald Trump being uh, convicted of crimes and not in on the ballot in multiple states and still being the Republican nominee could happen because if anything we've learned about Republicans, and we can say whatever they want about soy boy beta cucks like me and the soft-hearted liberals or whatever we want to say, but the amount of subservience and bootlicking to Donald Trump at people's own demise. Look at his lawyers that are pleading guilty now. Like they just believed him at their own peril. Everybody's being hurt just because they worship Donald Trump. He will not help a single solitary person in this country. Not one. This is it's retribution, it's vindication, it's power. That's all he wants. And for whatever reason, Republicans are just like, fuck it, like we're gonna go along with this because fuck Joe Biden. I don't know.
I think that's what it is, RTP. I think it's more F Joe Biden than it is Trump.
And I'll try and I'll ask any Republican, what did Joe Biden do that was so wrong besides beat Trump? What has he done that is so crazy?
I don't know. I just wish more people could talk like we are, but the one thing they're doing that I don't like is I don't like, listen, you can call me, like I'm 48 and I was at 9/11. Not there when it happened. I went and I helped clean up after, after it happened, but I saw what happened. I just don't understand why the hate against Israel. I don't understand. That's the one thing that's why I made this account to troll the people that are in support
Well,
of the other people.
certainly you could see certainly you can see whether you support Israel, whether you support Palestine, even as a supporter of Israel, certainly I imagine you can see the amount of atrocities that they've committed.
So,
They're
and
at the at
listen,
the
I'm not absolving Israel of none of that. I'm not.
well,
But
I don't like Israel. I think Israel's disgusting, and I think some of the acts of Hamas are disgusting too.
right, I
Uh,
think it's all disgusting, but I
but
think
but you do have to like Israel is the oppressor here. They are the
that
oppressor. They have basically locked people in open air prisons and they don't allow them to go anywhere. You're dealing with it. A country cannot like Israel cannot be absolved of putting people in open air prisons. There's no
no.
excuse for. There's never an excuse for that. There's never a reason for that. It's all based on it's a religious war. It's been a religious war forever. It's based on a difference of philosophy. And no, of course I'm going to condemn Israel. Of course. I
Well, I
don't
mean, I
understand anybody
understand
who
that.
is I am more upset with people who are like pro Israel. I don't get that. That's one of the things I hated that Joe Biden said. It's
Well, the
fine if
one
you're
thing
not
that
that
I
educated
here's
on
what
it like me. Like I'm not super educated on it. Uh, Not enough that I'm going to spend hours talking about it, but I can at least hear the information and say, okay, well, let's look at what Israel has historically done to the Palestinians. It
and
to me
and
it looks completely like everything Palestine has done is a reaction.
no, I get a reaction, RTP, and I understand everything he said. I'm not like a person. I don't want to see an animal get killed. Um, but you lose me when you run across and you kill innocent people in their homes and you do these terrible things and you take hostages. That's not the right way to go about getting support on your side.
Right. And but they're both doing that, right?
I
Like
know, but
I
unfortunately, one of
I
them
would
is
I would
not
also have an
Alan.
issue with somebody who by the way, when you say like people who are like pro Hamas, like I've got an issue with that too. I'm with you
Yeah,
there.
no, that's what I'm not talking about Palestinian people that are
Okay.
raising human rights. I'm not talking about them people. I'm talking about the pro-Hamas people or the people on the streets that are screaming, kill all the Israelis. It's just not right, bro. I don't want to
I
kill a
agree.
snake out on my front porch. Like, have some compassion. They should have brought all this up. We should have did something about it, but we never do. No
We
one
don't.
ever does anything until it turns to this.
Correct. I agree with you.
So that's what the sad thing is, bro. Till
Yeah.
some, till a whole bunch of people are dead that did nothing wrong.
Yeah, dude, yeah. 100% agreement with you there.
All right,
100%.
brother. Well, I got to roll. You have
All
a
right, brother.
great day.
Be well. You too.
Okay.
We'll see you. Jen, will you just bring up whoever's next? I know you're checking. I'll wait. I'll pull up the news here. There was a story I wanted to cover. Now I can't remember what it was. Oh, I remember now. Let's see if I can get this. Nonstop. How
Hello.
you doing?
All right, yourself?
I'm really good, thanks. What do you want to talk about?
I mean, what is there to convince you? I mean, what will convince you like that democratic policies are not good? I mean, just like for instance in California, I mean, a lot of their policies had led to a lot of suffering and a lot of homelessness.
Could you point
You
to
know,
like a specific policy and what it led to?
or the minimum wage. I mean,
What did
they
that
want to
lead
raise
to?
the minimum wage, and the the companies are just going to raise the prices on consumers to
On
make up for
who?
their like McDonald's just came out and said they're going to raise their prices.
Yeah,
Um,
I think I saw McDonald's made like their net profits were like 6 billion last year.
Yeah,
They don't have to raise. See, this is
yeah, they don't have to, but they are, you
so
know. Uh,
this is where when
and
I left.
it
Oh, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No,
No, go
when I
ahead.
left being a Republican, this is one of the main reasons why is what you have to understand when you say that raising the minimum wage is going to raise the prices of goods and you use McDonald's specifically. We are a slave to these people. We can't make law. So there's two options. We either raise the minimum wage so people can afford to live, or we keep the minimum wage where it's at so nobody can live and McDonald's can continue to make their profits. There's a third option, and Democrats aren't really doing this, but if we had enough progressives in there, we could. We could incentivize businesses to properly pay people and give them ways that they could pay their employees instead of paying taxes. I would be actually more okay with that. But the problem with what you're saying is in this scenario that you're laying out, McDonald's has all the power. And I don't think our country was designed for McDonald's to have all the power.
Yeah, I understand that, but the way they're coming at fixing the problem is not right because if it was right, it wouldn't McDonald's wouldn't be raising their prices. You
Well,
know what I mean?
they would. McDonald's doesn't have to raise their prices. McDonald's absolutely could pay the 20, 25. Like,
Yeah, of
for
course. Yeah,
example, in
we know that.
I think in
We know
Finland.
that.
Hold on. I think in Finland, I'm pretty sure. Not only do like McDonald's workers, if you work at McDonald's, that's a living wage. You can afford a house or an apartment and food. Health that your health care is covered already, so you can work at McDonald's and have a living wage. Now you're not going to be rich, but you can have a living wage, and it's not like McDonald's left Finland.
Yeah, of course. I'm not saying
Do you think it's
that
possible that McDonald's is just lying to you because they don't want to pay more?
I'm not saying that they're lying. They're just gonna do it because of course they like profit.
Of course they do, but
That's what
what happens?
that's why they're doing it.
But
I
what
mean,
happens?
if
So hold on. There's a McDonald's by my house. I go there regularly to get coffee. I think McDonald's coffee is
I
very
don't go to
good.
McDonald's at all, to tell you the
All right.
truth.
So I go, and there's two. You have an app on your phone that you can like order the food, or you can order it from the app on your phone. And then there's
Yeah, and you get a discount.
yeah, and
Yeah,
there's kiosks.
yeah,
Um, and you pay from the kiosk, and then they get your food. And then there's two registers if you want to pay for cash. You can pay with cash at that
yeah,
right there. But what I have learned is that uh, people are getting sick of going to McDonald's for that reason. And I would say great. You know what
yeah. I
that
mean,
does? If people stop going to McDonald's because McDonald's gets rid of their employees, you know what that makes an opportunity for? Small business.
yeah, of
Go
course.
open a small business right next door. Sell
Yeah.
hamburgers for cheaper. Have a cashier. Pay people a
I
living
mean,
wage. People will move. Like I love this. I
In-N-Out
love
has a very good structure for how they pay their employees and how they run their business.
yeah.
And a lot of people go to In-N-Out for that. For that's part of the reason why people go there. I have two nephews that just started working there, and I also know a manager that works at McDonald's. So, I
You
mean,
know the crazy thing about In-N-Out is In-N-Out took McDonald's model, their original
yeah, they
model.
did. Yeah.
They wanted quality products. They wanted to make it
Fast
quick.
service.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fast service, good
Yeah.
service, and quality products for a cheap price. That's what In-N-Out
Yeah.
did. When McDonald's went to their corporate model, now they're all franchised, and McDonald's mostly makes their money off of like obviously they get a share of the revenue from the franchisee,
Yeah.
but they
What
also usually own the land and the building, so they're picking up
yeah, for their
rent.
tax cuts.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's where they make most of their money. In-N-Out doesn't
Yeah.
do it that way. In-N-Out also doesn't like In-N-Out won't use DoorDash. They won't do like In-N-Out has created a brand for themselves, and their brand is good food,
Yeah.
and it
It's
quality
more for
food,
the
and it's
people.
quick.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
the more we go at McDonald's, the more like fuck it, make it $25 an hour. I don't care. The less
But
McDonald's, the better you and
yeah.
I are. We're
Yeah,
better off without McDonald's.
okay, but the thing is when you go after McDonald's for a minimum wage of $20,
It's
it
not just
hurts
them, right? It's
small
everybody.
businesses. It hurts small businesses because they can't necessarily survive paying that much
Well,
because they don't get as much business, and that's the thing that it hurts. That's
but
how small businesses will go bankrupt.
no, see, I think that this is the fundamental misunderstanding. So these big companies like McDonald's, like Burger King, like Taco Bell, a lot of the reason that they can sell food for cheap, and they pay cheap labor. It's true, but they don't need as big a margins because they have so many stores and they have so much business and their advertising is powerful and
Yeah.
they have investors. So it does it's true that raising the minimum wage. I live in Arizona. We used to pay people. I think minimum wage was like $8 an hour or something like that, maybe 8.50. And then we go, uh, and then they bumped it up to $12 an hour, and it increased every year by 50 cents. And we were a small business at the time, and we were paying $10 an hour so that we could get people. We didn't have to compete with minimum wage. So then we had to raise it to 14 instead of 12. But interestingly enough, as we paid these employees more money, and because they knew they were above minimum wage, and now they could actually afford more, we wound up with better employees. It's a really interesting thing that our best years came after we raised the minimum wage. When we went from $10 an hour to
What?
14 an hour,
Yeah.
some of us at first, some of the owners had to take a little bit of a haircut. We had to make a little bit less so that we could make the books work. But then for 3 straight years, we were at our most profitable until we were acquired.
Yeah, but you have to understand that Arizona doesn't have a state tax, so you guys actually get to keep more money
We have
when it
state
comes.
tax.
Arizona
We don't
has
have.
state tax?
You're talking about sales tax. Some products we don't have sales tax on, but we do have a state income tax,
Oh, a
and
state
it's kind
income
of
tax.
high for a red state. I
Or
think
was it
it like
Nevada? Yeah, I think it's Nevada that doesn't have the state income tax, right?
it's Texas, Florida. I don't know if
It's
Nevada does or not.
Yeah, check. I think it's like 12 states that New Hampshire, believe Washington,
Cassie's saying yes, Nevada. Yeah, but
yeah,
we do in Arizona.
Tennessee.
We have a state tax.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean that's one policy, that I don't agree with. I think they could
Wait,
get it
but
right. I think they could get it right, but they're just doing it the wrong way.
well, do
You
you
know what I mean?
understand? Do you understand why people can't afford to live on
You if you want to
minimum
put more
wage?
people, if you want to put more money in people's pockets, you have to, I mean, in California alone, we get taxed from everything, literally,
Yeah.
from our checks to what we purchase to our utilities, like, and we're paying top dollar taxes. We're not even paying like
You
work.
also get paid way more. Texas, I think Texas is, or I mean California, I believe is one of the top three states in income, meaning after taxes, how much they take home.
Yeah,
Uh,
but if you're getting
California's
taxed
higher.
more, you're actually getting paid less
No, no, no,
because
no, 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 no,
yeah,
no. Wait, hold on. I think you misunderstood what I said. I'm talking about take home pay after taxes. People in California make more money than almost every other state after taxes, even though their taxes are high. After taxes, their take home pay is more.
yes, but we pay for more for goods and services as well.
But you also get paid
And we
more.
also pay more for housing. We also pay
It's
more
true,
for
and you get paid
for
more.
our interest rates,
That's true, and well, not
like,
interest rates. Interest
well,
rates are
not, I mean,
largely the
that's,
same.
yeah, interest rates are across the board, but
But again,
I mean,
like California's stuff is more expensive, but they also pay more money. Now, California does have an issue with bridging the gap between because California has this strange issue where there's a lot of people in California. It's a massive economy, and we live in a capitalist society. So there are people in California who are ultra wealthy. And so I was in San Diego recently. I was talking to a my bartender. She was married. She bartends. Her husband bartends. They have one kid. I think she said that the rent for their 2 bedroom, 2 bath apartment was something like $3,900.
yeah.
So they both have to work two jobs for that rent. And that happens when the uber wealthy have all the money, right?
Hmm.
So it drives the cost of housing up because the more money that's on the rich side, the
Well,
more the price goes up. And
well,
if at the bottom end it doesn't follow that, then our government's job is to step in and say like, okay, well it's not on the bottom end people can't live anymore. So since it's not working with capitalism, capitalism is not
but
fixing this problem.
yeah.
We've got to raise the bottom up. That's why
Well,
you have to raise minimum wage because
well,
the capitalists would pay $1 an hour if they could.
okay, so in California, I mean, I rent, okay, and I have an apartment, 2 bedroom, 2 bath for 3 grand, and that's a lot. Yeah, that's
Bro,
ridiculous, right? And
I
yeah,
have two mortgages and now one's well I guess I have
but
costs for two different houses. I have a
yeah.
house and a tiny home and I pay less than that for two houses in Arizona.
Yeah, exactly. So the thing is though is why is it so high? And part of the reason why it's so high is the property tax. So the property tax, and also it's the like the homeowners for like to get evicted in California is one of the hardest things for a homeowner to do.
Yeah, but
So
we're talking about
and
people who are
and he has
renting
to
though.
come out, yes, but he has to come out of pocket if he does want to evict. So he and it's a very long process in California to
That's
be able
true.
to do that.
That's true.
So they have to cover their butts in that aspect because in the long run they could lose a lot of money, if
Did you
they
know
choose to go that
California?
route.
I just looked it up. California is 16th in property taxes.
But it's still high.
Let me list the states that are above it and see if you notice something. Tennessee, Idaho, Arizona, Utah,
Mhm.
Arkansas, Wyoming, Nevada, West Virginia, Delaware, South Carolina, District of Columbia, Louisiana,
Yeah.
Colorado, Alabama, Hawaii. Almost every one of those states is a red
Yeah.
state.
Yeah, and all those states the ROI is very high.
And you know,
The return on their investment.
no, that's silly. That's not true.
No,
Um,
it is true.
no, wait.
Look up the
Oh no,
return
hold on,
of
hold
investment
on.
on all those states.
Hold on. ROI, the return on investment on properties is going to depend a
Like
lot on
California
the.
is one of the
No, it's
highest
hold
too.
on, dude. Stop. You got to stop interrupting. If you're looking at return on investment, like your return on investment, I used to invest in homes. We would we'd go in, we'd buy like homes that were just destroyed. We'd remodel them and sell them. That's what I used to do.
Mhm.
It doesn't. Your ROI is not usually dependent on where you're buying the house at. It's more dependent on like, are you going to be able to get a renter? But again, what you're misidentifying the problem. In California, it's expensive, and it's expensive because there's a lot of people and there's a lot of money, and there is a large gap in wealth disparity. And you're seeing, if you see your income, if you take your income and your whatever it costs to live in your house, whether it's rent or your mortgage, if that's more than
Um,
32% of your income, every percent over that, homelessness drastically rises. So what you're seeing in California is that because home prices are so expensive and rent prices are so expensive, but the bottom wages haven't come up, that there are people who work full-time jobs who are unable to afford living in a home. That is your problem in California. And if the capitalists, the people that own the companies won't raise that wage, then the government is forced to step in and raise the wage. See, free market capitalism, true capitalism, if you want capitalism to work for everybody, it has to be heavily regulated. You can't
so you
allow
don't think
people to hoard money. You have to regulate the shit out of capitalism for it to work, especially on a scale of 350 million people.
so you don't think that policy is not affecting prices? Because
I do not
okay,
think liberal policies are any of the reasons for why housing
okay. So let
prices
me
in
give you
California have shot up.
okay,
No.
okay, let me give you another example. Okay, so and I'm just going based off of, the 10 years that I've been truck driving, okay?
Okay.
In the 10 years I've been truck driving, I was a truck driver under Obama. We typically had slow season January, February, correct? And other than
Probably.
that, everything's run smooth because people spend all their money, during the holidays. They run out of money in January, February, then they get their taxes and they usually, start spending again, okay, on goods and services. Um, so that's the reason why we had slow season. Under Trump, things were so slow January, February, but after his first year in office, things were moving. The prices in our loads went up and the profit was better because the fuel cost was down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we come down to Biden. It's just been a roller coaster. Like the trucking industry is getting destroyed
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, dude. And yeah,
And
but
it's
wait,
well,
hold on.
okay. So
Okay, I get
okay,
that.
can I
Dude, you
finish real
went
quick?
I get it.
Let
I
me
get it.
finish.
Hold on, hold on. I let you go for a
Let-
long time there. I
oh,
understand what you're saying. Now remember what I said is it's not because of Democrat or liberal policies. What
well,
you're
because
saying, what hold on. What
go
you're
ahead.
saying is true, but none of those gas prices are linked to Joe Biden policies. And if they are, you're going to have to show me where.
Okay, so in California, they put in a emissions regulation. A lot of companies got crushed because they cannot no longer use their 2011 Freightliners because of emissions. Okay, and a
That
lot of
doesn't change.
small
That doesn't
businesses,
affect gas.
a lot of
That
small
doesn't
business. Okay,
affect gas
okay. Well,
price.
let me
No,
finish.
no, 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 no. You don't get to change
Yes.
the subject. Hold on. That doesn't
Well,
change gas
you can't let me
prices.
finish.
You're talking about gas prices.
Yes, I brought up that as one of
But
the
no,
issues.
I'm still talking about gas prices. You don't get to move
Okay,
on to the next thing
okay,
now. We're
okay.
talking
Well, we'll
about
talk
gas
about gas
prices.
prices. Okay, so in California, you know our gas tax, what our gas tax is, and why our taxes, I mean, why our gas is higher
Uh,
than other states.
I know you guys have a high gas
Yeah, we
tax.
have the highest,
Okay,
and
is that a Joe
it's
Biden
due to
policy?
no, it's a Democratic policy.
Okay, what's wrong with it?
Well,
That
look at the
doesn't
cost
increase
of
the
gas.
you
Look
you
at
know
the
that
cost of
doesn't
our
increase
fuel.
you know that doesn't
The cost
increase
of our
wait
fuel
hold
is
on
over exaggerated.
hold on you know that doesn't change the price of gas, right, of oil, like the barrels of oil, right? That's on the
It,
back end. That's after the oil
yeah,
has been that's after the oil has been sent through a refinery and it's now at your gas station. The price of oil is not affected by the tax that's added on.
yes, it
The
is.
price of oil went up regardless of that
Yes,
tax.
because when you go and you pay for
No,
your
you're wrong.
fuel,
How?
you're
No,
paying a
you're
tax on
wrong.
it.
Wait, listen. Do you know what we gauge like our prices on gas prices? Do we add in the tax when we're taking average gas price?
Average gas prices? No, you don't, of
No,
course,
you
because you
don't.
take it
So
all
so
across
the
the
price of
states.
gas rose astronomically, and it had nothing to do with the sales tax in California.
It's not a sales tax. It's literally a gas tax.
Yeah, okay, it's a type of sales tax, my friend.
Yes, so we pay a gas tax on top of a sales tax.
Yes, I know, but that doesn't change. Like, I understand that that means you
Okay,
add,
so
but hold on. That doesn't. The price of gas is already up without that.
yes, so why is Texas gas different from California gas then? If that
I
doesn't
assume
affect
Texas
the
has
price in
different.
gas.
Yeah, I assume that their gas. I don't know anything about Texas gas, but I assume it
Exactly,
doesn't.
that's what I'm
Hold
trying to tell you.
on. Fuck, dude. You gotta learn. Like, you're really, really bad at listening. Like, so bad.
Well, because you
I
keep on cutting me off.
Yeah, because if I don't, then you go like you rattle off a million points at once. I'm trying to go point by point and have a discussion with you. In Texas, I assume they don't have the same standards for emissions, right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, not only that is the way the way they tax their gas and their gas companies.
Okay, but prices of gas are way up in Texas. So it's not so
But
you
they're nowhere
see?
near California.
Yeah, well maybe not. I don't know. That's the highest. You know who
Yeah,
has the
look
high
at it.
I have higher gas prices than you. We don't have a massive tax on ours. I'm
Oh
in
yeah, what's
Arizona.
your gas price
We
over
have
there?
the highest gas prices in the country in Arizona, and we don't have a massive gas tax. So I
What's
guess what
what's the price of gas over there? Of fuel.
I when did I fill up last? I know it's still over 4.
Ours is 5.
Well, is that including
And
the
then
tax?
and then it depends on the area because not only do we get a gas tax on the state
Okay, but
level, we got a gas tax on the county level and then even on the city level. So when you go to different cities, the prices are different. Like I could go to Norwalk in California and pay like
oh,
$4.49.
we slid below you.
But or I could
Take
go
that.
or I
Okay,
could go to
I
Beverly
don't care. Listen, I
or
don't
I could
care.
go to
Hold on,
Beverly
shut
Hills and pay
up,
seven bucks.
dude, I don't care about gas taxes. I really don't. You were talking
Okay.
about the price, you're talking about the price of gas, not the price that you pay after all the taxes. The price of gas went up everywhere. That wasn't a Joe Biden thing.
Yeah, of course it went up everywhere.
Okay.
Okay, but how much did it go up? For
A
you, it
lot.
only went up a couple bucks.
No, it went up a
For
lot.
us, it went.
Wait, hold on. You guys are like 20 cents higher than us. That's it. Like and that just changed. Arizona was the highest in the country. Like the last time I
Oh yeah.
checked was like 2 months ago. We were higher than you 2 months ago.
Okay.
We don't
So
have a
it dep
gas
like
tax. We don't have all these extra ordinances. You're
yeah.
misidentifying the problem, dude. You really, really are.
No,
You no,
no,
you
because
are. You are because
no,
what you want to do is you want to blame Democrats for everything. And you're talking about
no,
California. California is one of the best states in the country. It's one of the most well-run states in the country. You
it's
don't
not
get it.
Wally Run.
Yes, it is. It's compared to other states, it's very well run.
If it's well run, then why a majority of Californians living paycheck to paycheck?
The majority of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck.
Exactly.
And I just explained why. It has nothing to do with the gas taxes. It has to do with corporations hoarding the money and not
Okay.
paying people a living
So,
wage.
okay.
People
Okay.
aren't
So,
living. If you think people are living paycheck to paycheck because of a fucking gas tax, then I don't know what the fuck to tell you.
it's
That's
multiple
stupid.
things. It's
It's no,
multiple
it's
things.
multiple things, but the number one thing is that corporations aren't paying a living wage, so people can't afford to live. It's a lot of things, but number one, and the base of the problem is people do not have enough money to live. And yet, we have people all over this country who have more money than they could spend in 20 lifetimes. It's not
Okay,
a
but
good system. Our
okay.
system is
Okay.
broken. We have
Okay.
to fix the system.
Okay. So these rich corporate people, um, do you think they have? Okay. So Elon Musk, he's worth what? How much?
Uh,
286 billion. Do you think he has 286 billion? No, he doesn't.
no,
It's the value of his companies
well, he's
that
worth 250.
accumulate
He's worth
a majority of his
225 now because
wealth.
he took a bath on Twitter. He's
Okay,
upside down
well,
on Twitter, but
okay, but it's not that he has that much money. It's that he has that much value because of the value of his companies.
yeah, this is net
SpaceX.
worth. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the
So
thing. So wait,
so
but
you
hold
cannot
on.
tax value.
Hold on. Yes, you can. No, here's how you do it. He has 225 billion as a net worth, right? You know what he can do with that money or that net worth, even if he has $0 of it. He can go anywhere he wants and he can get loans off of just that net worth alone. He can go to his own company and take out a $10 million loan and have it be interest free, and he can take that 10 million and spend it, and then he can write it off as an
Yeah.
unpaid loan. Now,
Yeah.
what he could do and what would work is he could disseminate that net worth amongst his employees. The people who worked at Tesla, the people who built that fortune for him,
His
the
employees get
people
paid
the
good.
people who work at Twitter, all of these people could share in that net worth. It is
Yeah.
hoarded. It is hoarded. And if these people had shares of the stock, they could
They
not
do
only if
get
they
shares.
oh my god, dude. In the
I
middle.
have someone that
Hold
works at
on.
SpaceX.
Oh
I
my
know someone that works at Tesla. They
dude,
do get
you have
shares.
nobody said they don't have shares. I said he could share that. They could have massive amounts of shares. They could have protection. They could have
They
stock
get
that they
paid
could
good.
god damn, dude. They could have stock that they could sell if they got in a bind. This is
They have
hoarding.
that.
No, they don't.
They
They
have
don't.
that.
Not like this. Why does he need $225 billion worth of net worth? Why does he need to hoard that?
It's not that he.
Why? No,
It's
I
not.
said why
It's not
does he
that.
need? No, why? Why should he not
It's
distribute
that's what
that
they value
amongst
his
the employees?
companies at.
I know, but why not distribute that amongst the employees?
It's not that he could just distribute it. That's what
Yes, he
they're
could.
valuing
What are
it.
you
That's
talking about?
how, how do you distribute
How they?
something
Okay, let me
that
explain to
other
you. Do you
people?
know how? Be quiet. Do you know how he bought Twitter? Do you know how he got the money to buy
Yeah,
Twitter?
he had
How?
investors. He had
Wrong.
investors, and he
Nope.
sold his
Wrong.
Tesla stock.
Nope.
Yeah,
Wrong.
he
Try.
did.
Nope. I'm going to tell you now.
Yeah, he
What?
did.
No. I'm going to tell you now. So you be quiet. What he did is
Uh,
he made an offer for $44 billion to
yeah,
Twitter. It was a bad offer. He overvalued the shit out of it. And what he
yeah,
said is the way I'm going to secure this offer is with my Tesla stock, the stock he
yes,
owned in Tesla. And Twitter
yes.
said, "Fuck it. We'll take your offer. Give us the money." And then because Tesla's like, dude, you can't give away 44 billion in stock. You can't do that. It's going to kill our stock price. So then what he did is he went to a bank and he said, "Hey bank, I need 44 billion dollars to go buy Twitter. Will you lend me that money? And as collateral, here is my Tesla stock."
Did you know that
So all
people?
of his buying power, his ability to acquire
Yeah.
$44 billion in cash is because of his net worth, not because of his money. It's
Did
an
you know?
unfair system. You and I can't do that. Only he can
Okay.
do that.
Okay. Did you know that he got investors as well? He also told anybody that was
No,
an
he
investor
didn't.
at
He
the
took a
time,
bank
yes.
loan. No, he
No,
didn't. You're
yeah, he
lying.
did. I'm not
Who?
lying because Bankman Friedman even wanted to invest into his venture. It was a venture that he went in to buy Twitter, and he asked people if they wanted to invest with him, and
Yeah,
people wanted to
so then
invest
so
because
then he can give them,
typically,
yes, so then he can give them stock in exchange for cash. So now he gets to sell some of those shares of Twitter for cash. He bought Twitter for $0 of his own cash. And now he's injecting himself with more cash. They didn't loan him the money. That's how he's making money. That's how Twitter is making money. That's how Twitter is getting cash. They have to do that because he's done such a terrible job. He dropped revenues at Twitter by 60%. They have lost 60% of their advertising.
and they have
He
gained
basically
a
took a
lot by
$44
charging for
billion
the,
company
and
and it's worth
they've been gaining
zero.
more by charging a
No,
monthly
no, no,
fee
no, no, no.
for,
Their revenues are down, my friend.
yeah, and they
Their
also cut their
their revenues are
employees.
way down, and so now what they're doing is they're getting subscribers, which nobody wants to do, and they're putting in ads, which is why the last I checked, like the daily user interaction, the amount of like individual users that use Twitter every day, it's like of all the social media apps, it's like below Rumble.
It's always
It's
been.
below. No, it was higher. Twitter is dropping, dude.
And the
You're
reason
out
why
of your
Rumble is
mind.
higher now is because YouTube censorship.
Wait, what?
Yes, because
Twitter?
Rumble got bigger because of YouTube censorship. They
Well, wait,
kicked off
hold on. Wait, but Twitter got rid of their censorship and got worse.
they didn't get worse.
No, they're
So
making less
who?
money. They're
The,
losing users and they're
they're,
making less money. It's a business. This is capitalism, my friend. If you are
oh,
losing
yes.
money, you are getting worse.
Uh, no, because
Yes, they lost
when you
four
take over
billion dollars.
when you
Wait, do
take
you
over a
know that they
business,
lost four
you're not gonna
billion?
automatically if
They
you
lost
look
$4 billion
okay.
in
So you're gonna
revenue.
tell me if you buy a business,
Mm-hmm.
you expect to make
Have
a
you owned a
profit in the
business?
first year?
Wait, have
No,
you
you
owned a
take your
business?
losses in
Wait,
the first year.
hold on. If I buy a profitable business and a year later my revenues are down 60%, yeah, I failed, dude. I bought the
No,
business because it was profitable.
no, he didn't buy it because it was
I
profitable.
know he
He bought
bought
it
it
because
because
he wanted
he's an
no, because
alt-righter
he wanted
who
to
didn't like that his
restructure it.
friends were getting censored, so he spent 44 billion and brought
Yeah,
all the white nationalists back, and then everybody's like, "Yeah, we don't really
the
want to
white
be here anymore," because
nationalists.
that's what
Oh my
happens. Let me
God.
tell you a secret
How
about what
racist you
happened.
gotta be to say that?
It's not racist to say white nationalists. That's an actual group of people, and they
No,
self-identify that way, so it's not
but you
racist.
say no, but you're saying that he brought those people back. Like
He did.
that's
They
what
were
he.
banned. He brought them back. He brought
Oh,
back Cat Turd. He brought back Libs of
no.
TikTok. He brought
Yeah.
back
Oh, the white
Nick
nationalists lives in TikTok.
Fuentes.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
Nick Fuentes.
Lives
Nick
of TikTok
Fuentes is an
just.
actual white nationalist. Mike Davis, actual white nationalist. Yes,
I'm
he
not.
brought back people who
You
are
mentioned lives of TikTok.
self-avowed white nationalists. And here's a history lesson
That's
for you.
funny.
Here's a history lesson somebody should have
You're
told
crazy.
Elon Musk. History lesson about having these type of platforms without censorship is every single platform that has ever tried to be uncensored either was going out of business and had to add censorship and it saved their company, or
Um,
they went under.
you really don't look at the big picture of what
You
he's
don't
trying
look
to
at the
do
big
with
picture, so I'm
Twitter.
going to keep going. Shush. Remember Reddit? When Reddit first came out, Reddit was completely uncensored, right?
I don't know. I never used Reddit.
Okay. Well, Reddit, when it first came out, that was the idea behind Reddit. Uncensored, free speech. You have subreddits. You can say whatever you want. What happened is the white nationalists, they figured that out and they started infiltrating everywhere. And soon enough, people are like, I don't want to be on Reddit anymore because I pull it up and all it is just like white nationalists hate shit. Or violence. So Reddit's like, we're gonna lose all of our users if we do this. So they had to add moderation. They got rid of most of their white nationalist stuff. They got rid of most of their porn stuff. They got rid of a ton of their violent stuff. And suddenly Reddit was a viable company again. You can look at 4chan, which is where QAnon started. Now 4chan was actually rising up. They were doing pretty well. They brought on QAnon and all the white nationalists came with QAnon, and suddenly 4chan was this QAnon hellhole, and 4chan started bleeding users. They're like, oh no, we're bleeding users. And everybody was leaving because of QAnon. So they banned all the QAnon and the white national stuff. And 4chan leveled back out. And all the QAnon people went to 8chan. And 8chan relied entirely on QAnon to keep going. And then eventually QAnon fell off and 8chan's basically nothing now. You have to moderate speech in order to have an online platform where people want to stay. And Elon's learning that the hard way. He's bleeding users and he's bleeding revenue because he himself shares a lot of the views of the white nationalists, and people don't like that. People don't want to advertise with him.
What
That's why
views?
he's losing money. Nobody wants to advertise with him.
What views does he share with white nationalists? If
Oh,
you
I
don't
can
mind
pull
me
those
asking.
up. Yeah, I can pull those
Yeah.
up. I can pull up all the stuff he's retweeted from white nationalists. What views do you share with white nationalists?
I don't have any views with white nationalists.
Okay.
I don't even know what a white nationalist is, to tell you the
How
truth.
about when while I'm pulling this up, they lost 60% of their revenue. Elon Musk blamed the ADL. Do you know who the ADL is?
Yeah,
Who are they?
the anti-Semitic organization that
Anti-Defamation League.
yeah,
Yeah, but there's a lot of they'll go after.
about anti-Semitism and stuff like that.
Yeah, and see, he
Yeah.
brought back a lot of anti-Semites. And what he did is he misidentified the problem. He brought back a lot of anti-Semites, and he a lot of times amplifies their messaging. He'll retweet their stuff. And then advertisers started leaving, and instead of recognizing that what he had done in bringing these anti-Semites back was killing his business, he just blamed the ADL. But that's not even what happened.
But that's honestly comes down to your opinion though, because a lot of investors left even before Elon Musk took over.
No, more of
They
no
immediately
most. Wait, hold
a
on,
lot of them
brother.
a lot of
Shut
them
up. No,
a
since
lot
he
of them
it
left
doesn't. Shut up.
immediately once he
No,
took
since
over.
he
That's the
took
truth.
over, 60% decline in revenue.
Okay. Like I'm telling you, that happens to a company when you buy a company,
No,
you
it doesn't.
restructure
You've
it.
never bought a company.
Yes.
I bought two companies, and they both were
But did you restructure that company?
Yeah,
Did you
I did,
fire
but
a lot of employees? Did
no, I
you?
didn't fire a lot of
Oh,
employees.
exactly. You didn't restructure your companies the way he is doing it.
Yeah, but what
Okay?
he did when he restructured his
You
company,
take a
he lost
loss.
all. Wait, no, you
You,
don't. No, see, he's not taking a loss on hiring new people. He's not taking a loss on anything to do with him losing or firing people. The money I'm talking about, the 60% loss, is directly from advertisers saying, we do not want to do
yeah, and
business
that's
with you.
fine.
That
You
it
think
is
he's
fine,
not
but it's
cool with
not a
that?
good business move. No, I don't know if he's cool with it or not, but he's not good at business.
Like he was willing to take a $44 billion loss and just purchasing the company. You don't think he's willing to lose his first year in business with that company?
How do you correct it? Why would these companies come back and advertise?
Okay, so do you know what he's trying to
Hold
do with
on.
Twitter?
If
Do you
they're
know what,
leaving,
or
hold on. If they're leaving because they don't like what's happening on Twitter, how's he going to get them back?
do you know what he's
How is
trying
he
to
going to
do?
answer the question?
Okay,
Don't change it.
he doesn't care if they come back or not.
So how's he going to make his money?
Okay, well, that's what I'm trying to say. Do you know his idea of what he wants to do with Twitter? He
Which
changed it
time?
to
He
he changed
changes
it
his
to X because he has an idea of making it into a platform where you could do anything from transferring money to making payments online. And
Yeah.
do you know what that's going to accumulate? When you bring money into the equation of a social media company, you're going to make money. And the way
No,
you do
it's
that
not
is you
true.
charge
No, it's not
fees.
true.
You
There's
charge
plenty
fees for for
True Social's
transaction.
not doing well. It's not true, dude. You just don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You've never run a business. There
Okay.
is never
Yeah, I don't run a trucking
no,
business.
listen, there is never a good reason to lose 60% of your advertising revenue. Never. Remember how
Okay.
Bud Light had to Bud Light lost some not even advertising revenue, just like stock price
Yeah.
sending Bud Light to a trans creator. I can't remember their name, but Bud Light lost the revenue for that, and Bud Light, unfortunately, they kind of regret it. They say, yeah, maybe we should stay out of politics. He is jumping into politics, and he is he is uber partisan. He is uber far right, and people don't like the far right, dude. So advertisers are going to get the fuck out of there. Dylan
Okay.
Mulvaney, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Do you know the beginning of Tesla and how it almost went bankrupt?
Don't care. We're talking
Exactly.
about Twitter.
And they took losses in their first couple years of being in business.
I don't think I don't think
And how
actually
did that
wait, hold
turn
on.
out? And how did
Tesla,
that
I
turn
don't
out?
believe Tesla's ever been profitable. I believe Tesla is still losing money. That's how tech
Okay.
companies operate.
Okay. All right. Well, that's your belief.
I'm pretty sure they've never made money. Somebody can help me on that. But like Amazon didn't make a dime for 20 years. They're propped up by
Okay.
other people's money. The problem is the money that Elon Musk needs to prop up his business is advertising money. And they don't want to do business with him.
Well, Tesla's never even advertised.
I'm talking about Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he needs
Okay.
advertisers. For Twitter to survive, he needs advertisers. He
Okay.
doesn't have
I mean,
any.
that's your opinion, but they're
That's not an
surviving without.
opinion, dude.
Okay,
All
so
right.
well, I mean,
Any,
he's surviving.
anyways,
I mean,
anything else you want to talk
he's
about?
not going
I don't want to
bankrupt.
talk about Elon Musk all day. It's crazy.
Okay, I mean, that's fine. But like I said,
Like, why do you like Elon Musk so much? What's Elon Musk doing for you? Allowing you to say like racist things on Twitter? Like, what is he doing for you that makes you like him so
wow.
much?
So all of a sudden, I'm saying racist things on
No, I
Twitter?
said,
No.
why do you like him so much? And then I gave an example of why some people really like
No,
him. I said,
you know
why
why
do
I
you
like
like
him?
him?
Because he's innovative. Because he actually
He bought a
actually
company
put
that existed. What did he innovate? With Twitter, what did he
well,
innovate?
electric cars,
What he didn't invent
AI.
electric cars. He didn't invent AI.
Well, I'm not saying that he invented them. I'm saying that he brought them to the forefront.
No, he just marketed them. Yeah, he just got a bunch of money because he's friends
If
with.
he didn't,
Wait, his
okay,
dad owns
I can't even
a
finish.
diamond mine, and he's friends with Peter Thiel, and he has access to a lot of money, so he buys companies, but he hasn't created anything. Even SpaceX, he just went down to Fort Lauderdale, and he knew that NASA was losing their funding. He knew that NASA needed more funding, so he went down there and he cut a deal with NASA, and he said, "We're going to have this privately funded now, and every single thing that SpaceX has done is based on the work of people that NASA trained." He hired a bunch of people from NASA. They park in the same place. You can look at the SpaceX and you can look to your left and you can see NASA. They're in the
Yeah.
exact same place. He's really good at getting capital, raising capital, and then using that to create a business, but he doesn't make anything.
Okay, so he doesn't know how to. He doesn't know how to engineer. He doesn't know how to code. He doesn't know how to.
Not at a high
Uh,
level on either of those
he
things.
really does. He really does, though. He really does.
What evidence do you have that he's a
He
good
him
engineer
and
or
his brother built PayPal. They literally built PayPal, and then they sold it, and that's how he made the first chunk of his money.
the
You
first chunk
did.
of his money came from his dad's diamond company,
No,
by the way.
okay, that's what you think, but it's not true.
You don't think he got money from his dad and that's how he started his business?
You think he got money from his dad to start
Yes.
PayPal?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Okay.
All
I
right,
can't
go.
change what you think. I mean,
All
if
right.
that's what you think, I can't change it.
Go look it up.
And honestly, to be honest, like
Wait, no,
you
no,
could
this
bash
isn't
him all
even
you
like,
want.
dude, how do you not
You
know
could bash
this?
him all you want, but
No, how don't you don't know
he's
this,
doing things
dude?
that nobody else is doing. He's running
It
businesses that
doesn't
nobody else
matter.
is.
Yeah, he's also running Twitter into the ground. That's something nobody else had
Yeah.
done.
Okay,
Yeah.
you think he's running into the ground just because he took a
By the way, I don't think
60%
Musk
loss in
created
profit?
PayPal. I think Musk was one of the first people in PayPal.
No, he
I
built
don't
it and
think
then he
so.
sold it.
I don't think so.
And it was originally X.com.
No, see, you don't even have his history correct.
Yeah, that's what it is. And then and his idea for
Yeah, so
X,
PayPal was established with Mark Levchin, Peter Thiel, and Luke Nosek.
that's who bought it.
No. They merged with X.com, who was Elon's company.
Yeah.
So Elon
The-
didn't start PayPal.
Well, okay, they got his.
Remember 2 seconds ago when you said I
they
don't know
got
what I'm
his.
talking about?
Oh
And it
no,
was you. It was
no,
you that didn't know what you were talking about.
no. They bought what he built and they named it PayPal. They had the name PayPal.
No, they already had PayPal.
Okay, so why did they have to merge with X?
Because it was something about like their financial services. I'm trying to remember.
Exactly. The main thing that PayPal does.
Okay. Do you understand that your claim was he started PayPal with his brother, right?
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay. So again, don't try and backdoor out of this now. You claimed he started PayPal with his brother.
Originally X that bought PayPal bought X
Yeah,
and
that's not the
fucking
same thing as
use
starting
their
PayPal, dude.
technology to run their business.
Okay. So
Okay,
different
so
than
that's
what you
what it
said,
was.
right?
Oh, just because I didn't say X, I said PayPal, the company that took over the technology that Elon Musk and his brother built online. But anyways, like
Yeah.
it's
By the way, they were trying to be an online bank. They kind of stumbled into this idea, and Peter Thiel came to them, was basically like, "Hey, we don't give a shit about your online banking stuff, but we do like the potential of the money transfer aspect. That'll work well with our company." See, in Silicon Valley, this happens all the time. You have a startup, you have an idea, and oftentimes you find
yeah, they get
smaller
bought up.
you find a smaller company. It's
Yeah,
cheaper for you to buy that company than it is to develop
yeah,
that yourself, and it's quicker. So
yeah.
they didn't even buy X for what X was. They bought X for a component of X. But
That's
again,
what I'm saying
no,
of
no,
what
but hold
Elon
on.
Musk
If you're
built.
going to be honest, let's end because I got to bring somebody else up. But can you end on an
Right.
honest note? You said Elon and his brother started PayPal, and they didn't, right? Let's
Oh,
just
okay,
end on an honest note, right?
because
Okay. And
I,
you
I,
didn't know that
I
Peter
didn't.
Thiel started it with, right?
No, I knew Peter Thiel was a part of PayPal because PayPal was completely different from what Elon Musk built, but they bought his innovative technology that he built online,
Sure.
and they
Okay.
used it for their platform, which blew up PayPal.
Okay. Thanks, bud. We'll see you next time.
Okay,
All right.
you have a good one.
Bye. Jen? Will you just bring up who's next? I haven't been paying attention. How did that conversation went fucking everywhere? It started with minimum wage and ended with Elon Musk is God. I don't know how that happened. How did that happen? It's why it's hard to debate right wingers sometimes. They just like know a little bit about a lot of things. That one maybe isn't working, Jen. Oh, sorry, Thor. There's no way Thor had the patience to sit in there for that long. Yeah, I waste my time every day. There's no waste of time. Don't bring. I didn't bring up Thor, Jenna. You did. I'm not touching anything. How am I getting blamed for this? God, Thor. Nobody really wants you.
What up, bro?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man, I messaged you back.
I know. Oh, I meant to message you last night.
Yeah, I
Uh,
bet you did. I bet you
no,
did.
I,
It's
I.
anti-black as fuck. I'm gonna be honest with you.
What'd you say?
I said it's anti-black as fuck. If
That's
I'm gonna be
right.
honest with you.
No, let me. I do have an answer. And I. Anyways, we'll do it offline. I'll tell you. I'll tell you offline.
Yeah, that's fine. Tell me later. Hey, listen, I just want to point out that those trucking regulations that he was talking about, in terms of like the emissions and shit, and like how the 2011 trucks couldn't run anymore, the Freightliners.
Yeah.
So that was put into place years. I'm talking about literally years prior, and they gave corporations the opportunity. They gave them X amount of years to meet certain regulations. And if you didn't meet those regulations, then you could no longer drive those trucks. You could no longer use those vehicles. And you remember when we had the whole convoy shit?
Yeah.
Okay, same deal. Same deal. So under the Obama administration, almost 6 years ago, regulations were passed on emissions. And all of these organizations, all these corporations had the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to meet them by this date. And then while Trump was in office, he could have said, you know what? Executive order, we're going to get rid of that. But he didn't. And when Trump leaves office, the truckers fucking convoy and act like this is some shit that they didn't know about for like 5 fucking years. Y'all knew about this, and the corporations that you work for knew about this. It
In
also
all
added
fairness,
regulations on how long you could stay on the road. You know what I'm saying? It reduced how many hours you're allowed to stay on the road. Now, corporations, right, could have said, you know what? Well, we'll increase the amount of time you have to deliver your loads. But do you think they did? No, because they care about getting the loads delivered, you know, asaptually and making as much money as they can doing it. Because if you have to stay on the road longer, they're gonna have to pay you more, right? And they're
yeah.
like, nope, you're just gonna have to figure it out. So truckers were mad about that the regulations didn't get, you know, didn't get changed. But you should blame the corporations for
So
not
was it a
for having all
mission?
this time to fix the problems and not doing it.
Was it so obviously I'm looking at some of the regulations. There's like driver qualifications, the tax fuel agreement. That's the part maybe is that the part that's talking about emissions is the IFTA?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And so was it just that these trucks produce too much carbon, or what was? I'm trying to
Yeah,
look.
carbon emissions. Yeah, it's carbon
Okay.
emissions. And
Yeah,
so,
sounds like they had a long time. I didn't know this. This is new to me. So they had how many? When was it passed? I'm trying to find. Do you know the date it was passed?
I want to say it was passed in like 2000 and I don't know. It was like the last year or maybe the year prior to Obama's last year. So maybe 2014, 2015, one of those two. But it's been a long time, bro. It was a long time.
Seems like a long time to get. It's
Because
kind of like the.
they gave them years because we've been talking about fucking global warming and the impacts of, emissions and things of that nature on the planet since right after Bill Clinton's last year in office.
Gotcha. I'm trying to find the year on that. I find somebody saying 2012. I'm saying it's announced.
That might be right.
2011.
I just know that it was in Obama's second term. That's all I know. I just
Okay.
remember it was in Obama's second term. It's been so long since I've looked this up, bro, since I've actually researched it. But I remember those details. Like that these companies had years, and Trump could have reversed the policies and did not.
Okay, so it was announced December. Everybody's right and wrong. It was announced in December 2011. It went into effect July 1st, 2013. So there you go. You were right. Right.
So there
the
you
end.
go. Yeah. So there you go.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I still didn't understand what he was getting at there.
Yeah.
I still have no idea how that raised gas prices, but I did not know that.
It definitely didn't. It definitely didn't raise gas prices. But it's just the utter lack of information is baffling to me. It's almost like you guys make your decisions based on Reddit memes or a tweet that you've seen, and you don't actually like read anything. Like you don't read books, you don't read newspaper articles. I don't know what news you're watching. I mean, if you can call Newsmax or Fox or anything like that news. I mean, I don't typically watch TV, so nobody can ever say that, oh, you got that on CNN. I haven't watched CNN since 2000, since Trump was elected. As soon as Trump got elected, I personally blamed like organizations like CNN for continuously talking about this, bro.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm like,
giving
you
him.
kept giving him a platform. You kept putting him in front of the media's face or in front of the people's face.
Yeah.
Instead of just, I'm saying like ignoring him. I would have blacked him out. Like, nah, not on my network. He doesn't deserve the airtime.
So my Twitter is basically I follow mostly right wingers, and exactly what you're saying. When you say that's almost like they don't read and they just get things off memes, I can oftentimes, like especially with that last guy, I can like in my head envision the meme where they got it. Like I've seen the meme too, and I know that's the only part of the information they got there was that meme part.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever the headline says, that's it. You know how many times they've given me a source for something that's supposed to substantiate whatever nonsense they've told me, and then I read said source, and it actually, you know what I'm saying, like validates what I've been saying the whole time, and I'm like, you didn't read this, did you?
I bet the answer is every time.
Nearly every time. There's never a source that backs up what they're saying.
Yeah.
Like somebody told me earlier today that Joe Biden said black people get their internet at McDonald's. I'm like, bro, what?
The fuck kind of claim is that?
I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
Let's see if if I can find the meme for it. Get there.
Right? I looked, man. I looked this morning. I tried to find it.
Couldn't find one.
I tried to find it.
That's crazy.
But yeah, man, they just say any fucking thing.
Well, maybe it's because McDonald's was a founding partner of iHeartMedia's Black Information Network. Maybe that's what they meant.
Maybe. So I created a new shirt.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I'm going to put it on the screen right now. Hold on.
Let me get you on the big screen.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me log in. So this will be coming in the store very soon. The store should hopefully be up by the end of the week. Here we go. Turn the camera around. All right, there we go. Yapping, verb. When your mouth is moving, but you ain't saying shit. That's the front. And here's the back. It's just a bunch of fucking letters coming out of the mouth.
Oh, I love that.
And it says, when that word salad slaps.
I love it. I don't know. It's got too many teeth to be MAGA, though. I don't know if you want to. You got too many teeth. That
When
dental
that
care
word
is immaculate
salad
there.
slaps.
Yeah. That's
So
beautiful. I will be
check
getting
in
one
with
of
me,
those
guys.
shirts.
Yapping shirts. Yapping shirts will be out soon.
Send me a link when your shop's up. I'll post it on here when I'm live. I'll buy one too. I gotta get one of those shirts.
Yeah. So when your mouth is moving, but you ain't saying shit.
Yeah.
But I got a whole bunch. I got a whole bunch of stuff that'll be uploaded into the new store. I'm excited about it. I have one that says "Blue Lives Murder." I don't know how well that one's gonna go on. But
Bro, I might wear that around here. I'm gonna get some hatred. I like that one actually.
it actually is lit. I got the Rainbow Warrior shirts coming out because some Christian zealot ideologue came on my platform and said, "You fucking Rainbow Warrior," and I was like, I like that.
Bro, yeah, how's that not a cool thing to be called? That's
Right?
awesome. Yeah.
Right? I was like, I'll take that.
Isn't that's the University of Hawaii? That's who they are. They're the Rainbow Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I like that. I'll take Rainbow Warrior.
I love
I'll
that.
take Rainbow Warrior. I love the ultra specific, you know what I'm saying, like insults. I love when I get ultra specific insults. I really do. I mean that sincerely. Like, you're 83% white. I'm like, 83%? I was like, fucking, are you like 23 and me or some shit? Like, it's all 23 and me.
I did mine. It's 100% white. I just want you guys to know. I did mine.
Hold on. They
I've
want to
never
see the
been-
Blue Lives Murder shirt, so I'm going to
Yes,
put it
please.
up. Real quick. There you go.
Jesus. That's ruthless, dude. That's fucking ruthless.
Yeah.
I love that.
There it is. That's it.
Hey, but honestly,
you'll love this one. RTP, you'll love this one. Hold on a second. I also have one called Mansplaining that I think that the women will love. Huh? Oh, no, not right this second. Here, you guys will. Oh, it's reversed anyway, so you're not. Nobody can see you. There you go.
let Daddy man.
Let Daddy mansplain it for you.
That's beautiful.
That's one of my faves.
You're good at
guys,
this, man. Are you doing the graphic design yourself on this? This is really good.
For most of it, yeah. I have one person that helps me with it, but for the most part, yeah, I do it myself. Hold on one second. Let me find this other one. Most of these ideas I get from you know what I'm saying, my conversations with people on TikTok.
That's
They're
brilliant.
inspired by, you know what I'm saying, by conversations I have on TikTok.
Someone in my Discord said that I'm hoping this was years ago because of the shirt, but that they were wearing a shirt, True Religion shirt, and someone confronted them and demanded to tell her what True Religion he was talking about.
Here you go, bro.
Yeah, it's just man. I might need you to make me. I had a guy on here one time. I don't know if you've seen. I clipped it, and we were talking to him, and at one point, I think Nerdy said like maybe he had TDS, and he yelled to his wife. He said, "Honey, do I have a small penis and erectile dysfunction?" Just yelled it out, and then came back with, "I've got 7 inches. It's the perfect size."
Oh yes, I was there.
Were you there for that one? Yeah.
I was there.
What is this? Oh, dude, I love Haribo though.
This is for you. Certified soy free.
Oh, that's
So many
beautiful.
alphas.
So many. It says all alphas in there.
All alphas edition.
All alphas.
All alphas edition. Because, hey, bro, when you
That's
can't
brutal.
figure out who the alpha is, you just got to get you an all alpha pack.
We're requesting a 9-foot wolves shirt.
I will work on the 9-foot wolf shirt.
Hey, Chaotic Dad wanted to ask you something. I think. Here he is. Or show us something.
Yo, hey guys.
Hey, what's
Mrs.
up?
Jones, good to see you again, my friend.
Good to see you, sir.
Hold on, I think you guys will like this shirt. This is the one on my store that it is inspired by a real nun. 1 second.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, all right.
That's right.
That's right.
RTP, I thought you'd like that one.
I love it. That's beautiful.
Now, I like that.
This was inspired. I have a nun named Sister Edith that is part of my group, and she came up in the box to talk to me but left her camera off, and she said, "Hey, sorry, I'll turn my camera on. I'm still getting dressed. Now she was talking about her headpiece, but my response was, well, there's nothing better for deconstruction than a naked nun. And that was the inspiration that came from
I missed that part in my deconstruction. That was not part of mine.
So she has said she'll never wear one herself, but she'll be happy to sign it for somebody if she ever comes across them.
I love that. That's
love
beautiful.
This one says not one emotion emoted.
Right. And by the way, Mr. Jones, don't forget, everybody has a cell phone.
Everybody has a cell phone.
Everybody has a cell phone. That's what the guy said, and RTPS, the guy said, the McDonald's Wi-Fi guy.
Yeah.
Everyone.
McDonald's Wi-Fi guy is in the box again, Mr. Jones. He may want to talk to you.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, he left. He left. Never mind.
Oh, okay. So, my man told me that everybody has internet. Everybody has internet.
Everybody has it. Yeah.
So, except for when they don't.
Except for when they don't.
Except for when they're homeless and
right.
Yes. And
I asked him, how do you get a job when you're homeless? And he said, you don't have an address. I was like, oh, so you said one thing right today.
All right, I'm gonna bring up hustlers. Chaotic, I'm gonna mute you. You just have some weird background noise going on.
Oh, here, I'll mute.
Hey, did you have something you wanted to talk to Mr. Jones about?
Yeah, Mr. Jones. You said Obama did an executive order. It was only done in California.
I never said that.
It was only California is regulated for emissions. I could drive any of those trucks that are regulated under California in any other state. And as far as emissions, I never said that emissions had to do anything with the cost of fuel. I was just saying the reason why the trucking industry is messed up is because
hold on, that's not true. That's
because
not,
California
hold on.
emissions,
that's not true.
and also because of the fuel cost.
Hold on, that is not true. We were talking about gas prices, and I
Yes.
said, what's a liberal policy that caused the gas prices to go up? And you specifically mentioned this policy. So are you now saying you were wrong about it?
I said that.
Wait, hold
I
on.
said the
So
fuel
are you now
tax
saying
in California.
Are you now saying that didn't cause the price of gas to go up? Because we talked about
I
the
never
taxes,
did
and I
say that.
said
You assume that.
Then why'd you bring it up?
Because I was saying the reasons why the trucking industry is doing horrible right now.
We weren't talking about the trucking industry. We were talking about the cost of gas. We never were talking about the trucking industry. No. Our first foray into the trucking industry was when you brought this up. We weren't talking about. I don't talk about trucking. I don't know shit about trucking.
I told you. So did I not mention that I've been doing trucking for the last 10 years? I did not mention that I was doing trucking for the last 10 years and how it's changed from Obama to Trump to Biden.
We're getting talking about gas price. Yeah, but we were.
So can I give you
the exact?
Can I give you the exact exact law for California specifically that I was speaking of? It's called California's Truck and Bus Rule. It was adopted in 2008. The phased-in requirements for mandated heavy trucks meet particular particulate matter filter requirements beginning in January of 2012. And older, heavier trucks had to be replaced starting January 1st of 2015.
Yes.
So they had years. They had years to comply.
Yes.
Years.
And it barely came into effect just this last year in July. That was the cutoff date for it. But what I'm saying is it didn't affect big companies. It didn't affect big companies. It affected small businesses.
They had since 2008.
It affected owner-operators.
I don't care. If you knew something was coming, you should have done something to prepare yourself for it. That's bad business ownership.
Okay, and do you think that people are gonna prepare for something that
they've known about since 2008? Yes.
Okay, but do we know the trucking industry was gonna get so bad? No, we didn't.
Wait, so are you saying? Let me ask you a question, because this could be applied. Like, it's true. Every regulation is going to hurt somebody at some point. It's going to happen. Especially if you're
it
not
hurts small businesses.
Hold on. Especially if you're not prepared. So, do you just advocate like we never regulate anything?
No, but what I'm saying is that it hurt people, and
that happens with every
owner operators. I'm not saying that we shouldn't regulate this or that, but that's a regulation that's only done in California. We have the biggest ports in California. We do the most business for trucking in California compared to any other state, And what's gonna happen when you lose all those truckers?
You're not losing all the truckers. You're only losing the people that weren't prepared for it. But again, what do you think? What do you think happened to people who sold horses when we started paving roads? When we went from dirt roads to paved roads, do you think those people were hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes
Okay.
things change. You have to adapt. Like the world changes and you adapt. If you
Okay.
have old equipment, you can't just expect the world to never change so that you don't have to adapt to it. That's a silly argument.
Okay. So you think it's a good policy for California to only sell electric cars by 2035 in
Yes.
Yes,
California?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Do you have
Who do you think
children?
that's gonna hurt?
Hey,
Who
no,
do you
no,
think
stop,
that's gonna
hustle. Do
hurt?
you have children? Do you have children?
I have
It's
an electric car. I just got an
Do you have
electric car.
children? You're not answering my question. Do you have children?
Yes. Oh, okay.
Okay.
I
Do
have
you want your
children.
children to have breathable air and water that they can drink?
They
You
have
know what I'm saying?
breathable air and water
In a
right now.
planet that is sustainable in terms of temperature.
Well, I don't believe in global warming, if that's what you want
Jesus
to
fucking
call it.
Christ.
I don't I
see,
and I and
this is the
I do believe
convenience with
in
your.
climate
Hold on.
change. I
Hold
do
on.
believe
Scientist?
in climate change, but
Are you a
climate has
climate
changed
scientist?
for
Are you a
thousands of
climate
years on this
scientist?
planet.
Are you a climate scientist?
Are you?
I don't have to be. I
Thank you.
refer
Wait.
to the climate
Exactly.
scientist.
Hold
I
on.
Okay,
refer
so
to the
why do you
Hold on.
climate
bring
Hold
that
on.
up?
Wait.
scientist
Hold
for
on.
the
Hold on. Hold
reason.
on, guys. Hold on, because I think we did miss something. He said he doesn't believe in global warming, but he believes in climate change, which is fair. Global warming was poorly named. So you understand that, like, we're actually doing things. We're actively putting things into the air that are harming our planet, right?
I don't know if it's harming our planet, but I know that it's changing
Ca-
our planet.
causing
I
more
know it's
drastic.
changing. I
Okay.
don't know if I don't know if it's because I mean we did have an ice age and there was no humans back then. You know what I
Correct.
mean?
Would you say that it is causing our weather to be more extreme?
I say
No, because I don't know what the weather
meteor.
was like thousands of years ago.
Well, no, I'm saying if you're looking at if you take climate scientists now, there's virtually not a single there isn't a climate scientist that I've ever heard of that denies that human impact is affecting our climate. The only differentiation between climate scientists is how much impact and how much of it is reversible. That's when you get into the minutia there, you're gonna like you might have difference of opinions on how we can fix it, how much damage we're doing, how serious it is. But
Okay,
there's not a climate scientist in the world who says that we're not impacting the climate and that we're impacting it in a way that creates more severe weather.
okay,
RTP,
So
can I
so
have one
if you don't
moment?
agree with
okay,
that, then you don't agree
okay,
with like
RTP, can I
all
have
okay.
of
one moment?
So
science.
I have
okay,
one moment.
okay. So
RTP.
how do
Hold
you
on,
think
friend.
we?
Hold on, friend. Hustle. Hold
Okay,
on a second.
okay, go
We
ahead.
had an ice age. We had an ice age because a literal
My
meteor hit the
God.
earth and created so much debris that it blocked out the sun from the earth, making the earth cold because it wasn't getting sunlight, and it killed all the vegetation, so there wasn't any humidity. So like quite literally the ice age was caused by an external influence.
And that external influence was Jesus.
Jim Crow Jesus specifically.
Okay. Anyways, are you
Wait,
guys
but do you
fucking
understand what he's saying? Like we did have an ice
okay?
age, but it
Okay,
wasn't. Hold on, whoa, bro, right in the middle of my
go
sentence.
ahead. I
He's
can't even
saying,
get the word out.
well, I was talking, so it wasn't your turn. That's why.
Well, I was gonna talk
It's still
before
my
Mr.
turn, but
Jones
you can.
started talking,
I
and
know.
now you started
I'm
talking.
gonna help move the conversation along. So what Mr. Jones is saying is essentially that, like, yes, there was an ice age, but that wasn't our Earth's like natural evolution. It's not like we had an ice age, so we're gonna have another one. Something in space, a big rock, flew down and hit our big rock, and it created a bunch of dust, and it blocked out the sun. And so there was no warmth. Everything froze over. When everything freezes over, then the earth, like, you don't have plants that create carbon dioxide. Nothing can live. There's no oxygen, there's no carbon dioxide. You have a place that's unlivable. So, if we had another comet hit the earth, we may have an ice age. But to say we had an ice age like it was just some natural progression of our earth is silly. So you shouldn't refer to the ice age when you're talking about our impact on the climate.
Okay, okay. Um, as far as yeah, like okay, so you guys want us to all go electric, right? What happens if I mean, how do you think our cars are getting charged right now?
So it's a good
How,
question. This
Fuel?
is the
how do you think
thing.
our cars are
No,
getting charged?
I'm
You don't think
answering it.
that's causing more
Wait, hold
pollution?
on, hold on. I'm going to answer your question. So when you create new technology with existing technology. So until the new technology can create the new technology or sustain the new technology, we have to use old technology. So if we're going to build more green energy, if we're going to create more green energy production, we have to make that green energy with our existing technology. So yes, it's true that in the short term, we will use our existing technology to make cleaner green energy. But these kind of scare tactics, that kind of rhetoric, what you're talking about, is just what big oil and all these other companies are saying to you. They want you to think that
They're not
everything's
saying
gonna
it to
hold on.
me. That's what's
They do. They put out
happening.
those press releases all the time. They fund most of
You,
those. I'm almost done. They fund most of their studies. But no matter what time in history where we've innovated, in order for us to innovate new technology, we have to use old technology. So
okay.
it's not a great argument.
Okay, so you know the infrastructure that they're building in California for the charging stations are run by, technology that you consider to be old, but that is relatively new, and is in order to power those generators, you need diesel and coal.
That's what he's
uh,
talking about.
until we can power it with green energy. But in order to be able to power it
Okay,
with
what's
green
green
energy,
energy to you?
hold on. In order to power it with green energy or just cleaner energy, we have to rebuild our infrastructure.
Okay, and they're
Part
not doing that.
No, they're starting to build it, but
The
in
the
order.
current
Wait, what do you
Well,
mean?
there's
Like
there's
there's
pieces.
charging stations everywhere. 10 years ago, there were none.
Well, not just that,
Yeah, and
improvements
do you
of
know how long
sun
you have to
solar
go wait
technology.
for a charger over here in California at some locations? And do you know that there's
Yeah, so we need
locations
more.
that
So we
you
need to build
cannot?
more. Right. So
Well,
we
there's
need
a
to
Like
build
whole
it,
more.
map. There's a whole map of downtown
yeah.
LA. There's a whole
So
map
they
of San Francisco. There's a whole map of San Diego that tells you where all the charging stations are. It tells you if they're being occupied or used or not. I mean, it's
yeah,
super
and there's
easy.
not
Like it's
enough.
super easy. You
So
just
so
log into the app. It tells you where you can go, where there's one available right now. You
I
know what I'm
know.
saying?
I have an electric car. I know. You don't
Yeah.
have to
but
So
explain
this
but
is
it
to
to
not
me.
that
but
hard. Like
but
you're
Like,
but
just
to
making up a
RT
bunch of
but
excuses. But here, hold on,
you're
Grant.
doing
Oh my
doing
God,
more
I talk so much.
pollution. The pollution that you guys are trying to stop
I will
are
give you a
being
solution.
used
I
to
will
Hustler,
give
charge
you a
our
solution.
cars.
Okay,
Hustler.
if you stop talking for a second, I'll give you a solution. So number one, we could have powered cars by hydrogen, which are more fuel efficient. There's less wear and tear on the engine itself. You can drive longer on it, and it doesn't release any harmful gases into our atmosphere. We could have used hydrogen for years, but those ideas have been shelved because big oil wants to make money on big oil, and they don't want to have to change their technology. So we could have used hydrogen to power vehicles for decades, and I think that's the move that we should make because mining for the things necessary for batteries is dangerous and harms people, right? Secondly, nuclear energy can be
And it
used
tears up
to
the
power
earth.
all. Nuclear energy can be used to power all, you know what I'm saying, like large facilities, stadiums, grocery stores, all of you, think of all your big box places, could all be powered by nuclear. And in terms of homes, water, wind, solar can power all the homes in America, no problem. And boom, green energy, problem solved.
Yeah, so why are they not doing that now?
They're working on it. That's the whole point. Is a gradual.
They're not
Hold on,
working
Oil
hold on.
companies won't
Yeah,
allow it.
but
their
to his
investments are in
point,
the
to
wrong
RTP's
technology
hustler,
because
give me a
the
second.
technology
You
that's
asked a
built. Can I
question,
finish?
and then
Well,
Hustler,
no,
no,
I was
Hustler, you
talking,
oh
asked a
my
question.
God,
and
you
then
guys
Let
don't
Raul
let me
I
finish
was
ask.
for
talking. That's the
anything.
first time I've said anything, hustler, and you wouldn't even let me
Okay.
get a sentence out.
I haven't even been able to get a full sentence
I
out.
haven't said anything.
Hold on, real quick.
Like,
Hustler, let's just going forward then. Don't ask questions and then start talking. If you ask a question, wait for the answer. You asked a question, let's let Chaotic Dad answer, and then you can go. But don't ask questions and then answer them yourselves. That's not what we're doing here.
yeah, to RTP's point is that things do take time to adjust. When we went from horses to cars, there weren't gas stations on every corner. It takes time to put gas stations on every corner. When we go from gas cars to electric, it has taken time for even solar panels alone have gone from being extremely fragile and not efficient to now being more and more readily available and becoming more and more efficient at storing the electricity. But that still takes time to get into more homes, to get into more charging stations, to develop that infrastructure. It's the same thing we see in constant, like every time we have these new developments of things, even going from flip phones to what we have now with 5G. There's infrastructure that has to be built over time to get to it. So there are improvements that are being made, but it's not going to be overnight.
Yeah, but the way that they are going and the route that they're taking is not leading to what you're talking about.
Wait,
It's
hold
leading
on.
the opposite
Hold on real
direction.
quick. So let's talk about a couple of things that are super fucking inconsistent with what you're saying. Number one, you worship Elon Musk. Two of his companies, Solar City and Tesla,
I
rely
worship him because I
yeah,
mentioned him.
okay, whatever
Okay.
you do, you really like Elon Musk. To his
He said
net
he
worth,
started PayPal and he didn't.
yeah,
He literally got it from other people. He hasn't
Okay.
his
started anything. He
Yeah.
stole Tesla. He didn't start PayPal. Wasn't
his
even part of the beginnings of PayPal. He didn't even
Okay.
come up with the software that PayPal bought from him. He stole it from an employee, and everybody knows this.
Now, so Elon Musk, his net worth largely recently has been he had Solar City and he had Tesla. He has made his fortune on the back of government subsidies for green energy. And we see what happens when the government subsidizes this type of work. You see, I grew up in Utah. Most of the biggest solar companies, the solar cells companies, come from Utah. You can look at Vivint. Solar City has used to have a massive presence there. And those are two of the biggest solar installers in the country. Now we have to invest in that money, and we have to incentivize private businesses to go out and build their businesses around this green energy. And as we do that, we learn a lot of things. One thing that we're learning right now, and you live in California. Are you in Southern California?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so and I'm in Arizona. I lived in Utah, Nevada. Everybody knows we've got a problem with water. One of the biggest benefits of putting more charging stations, having more solar energy, having more wind turbines, is that when you create energy using solar and wind, it doesn't create a steam, and you don't have to cool it down with water. It saves water. We're desperate for water. So what you're seeing right now is that our country refused to act for years. We've been talking about global warming. Al Gore was big in the 1990s, and we didn't do anything about it until recently. And in the last 10 to 15 years, we've started building, but we're way behind. And so we have to keep investing in this infrastructure until we can get enough solar and wind and possibly nuclear power to power these things. And we also have a water crisis that we need to take care of. Now, if we emit less emissions and we use less water for our energy, our water crisis becomes not such a big problem, right? But what you're missing is that like every time, I don't know if you're purposely missing it. Every time we have a new technology, it hurts an old technology. It hurts an old industry. The railroads have struggled after we had giant planes that could carry freight, that could carry packages. The Pony Express, the Postal Service, they had to change after we had trains and cars because no longer did it make sense to ride on a horse and buggy. Banks, once we had electronic transferring, you don't think that hurt the places like the money, what are those people called, like the armored trucks, and before that you had the wagons, people moving money via vehicle. Like every time we make any sort of new technology, it kills an old industry. It's not a good reason to oppose it. A good reason to oppose a new industry is looking at it and saying, okay, this is the damage. This is in the future. This is the damage that it will cost. Because adopting new technology in the moment will always be painful. There will
Okay.
always be winners. There will always be losers. And what you're doing right now is you're parroting, whether you got them I'm not saying you got the talking points from them, but Big Oil really, really wants you to think that this is just like it's going to be the same no matter what. You're going to use oil. And Big Oil, by the way, is
Is it,
right now. I put out the video today.
uh,
Exxon record profits. Record
it,
profits from Exxon right now. You're complaining about gas prices and you're blaming everything but Big Oil. Big Oil is the
I'm
reason
not
we don't
saying
have
that
green
though.
energy. Big Oil is the reason gas prices are up. Big Oil is the problem for every single thing you've brought up today, and yet you refuse to acknowledge that, and you're just like, I'm
Uh,
still going to just side with the Republicans who are just going to give corporate welfare to Big Oil forever and ever and ever.
First of all, I've never said I sided with Republicans. Second of all,
Yes, you
I
do.
never look at okay.
But you
Well,
do.
can I actually talk now
You
without you
can.
interrupting?
Sure.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that.
I love you.
So, um, like when it comes down to, Big Oil, yeah, of course they take a massive profit. So of course they have the power to do so. So they're gonna do it. And it happens across the board with every company, just not oil. You know, even electric companies, they're doing it too now. They've raised the cost in their electricity fucking a lot in these last 2 years. Not just for, the average household, but for people charging
Yeah.
their cars,
You know why? You know
So
why?
so
Wait, do you know
okay,
why?
why? Can
Yeah.
I finish without you interrupting though?
Well, you just asked me why. You can say no. I'll finish. Do you want to finish
Oh,
instead?
all right, go ahead, man.
Yeah, right.
I
So big
mean,
oil,
yeah.
these energy companies, they don't like. I live in Arizona. I have solar. I'm not allowed to use solar where I'm at because I use SRP. I can't use solar for all my energy. I can't do it. I have to be connected to the grid, and they've worked out deals that no matter what, I've got to pay them for energy. So I can only use my solar, what I produce from solar, from 11, I think it's 11 a.m. to 6. And then everything past that, I have to be on the grid. Even if I have a battery to store that,
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to use that. I have to pay the power company. So these
Yeah,
companies, yeah, so what's happening is we have new innovation, and that new innovation is cutting into their profits. And so they are raising the prices, which is
exactly.
fine. They can do that. But what I'd like to see is the Republicans say, "Hey, why don't we stop giving them handouts then? If they're just gonna gouge the American people, we're gonna stop giving them tax breaks." They
Well,
got
I mean,
tax breaks to help us. That was
they
the whole
are
point
too.
of us giving them a tax break, so it would help us. Now
But the
they're hurting us,
Democrats
and
ain't
the
advocating
Republicans
for that either.
still want. Well, Democrats aren't advocating to give big oil tax breaks. They're
They're not.
not.
Well, they're giving electrical companies tax breaks. They're giving electrical uh people that I mean electrical people electrical car companies that are building electrical cars. They're giving them tax breaks.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
it's
so
incentive. Yeah,
it's
right. But hold on, that's incentivizing the behavior that we want. We want more green energy, so we incentivize the things that we want, and we should disincentivize or decentivize. I don't know what the word is. We should not incentivize behavior that we don't want. So we don't need big oil to help us really. We do not need to give them tax breaks. We've given them tax breaks, and all they did was charge us more. So they're taking our tax money in the forms of not paying into taxes, and then they're also making record profits. They're the ones that are hurting us, and you're on here to complain about green energy.
I'm not complaining about green energy. I'm complaining about the regulation that's forcing me to go into green energy. I should
Right.
have the choice. I
No,
should have the
no,
choice not
no,
to do that.
no. We
Why
want
not?
to,
This is America.
because what again, we want to incentivize the right behavior. We need our air to be more clean. We need to conserve energy. We need more water, especially where you and I live. So the government's role in this is to incentivize the right type of behavior. The behavior of buying a gas guzzler or a diesel that pollutes and not going electric, that's the wrong behavior. We do not incentivize that. So will you sometimes be hurt when your technology is dead? Absolutely. But there's
So,
350 million people here. There's not a regulation that has ever been passed that didn't hurt somebody.
so why don't we just regulate everybody ride bikes?
It's not
That will
well
help
because
out.
our economy would
Why don't we
shut down
just
because our
regulate that?
economy would shut down. Our economy is based on
Exactly.
transportation. So exactly. So what we do is we say we understand that you need cars to move. So we're going to create this deadline in California, for example, 2035. We're going to have everybody has to have electric vehicles. We're going to give you all this time, and by the time at 2035, you can no longer buy a new vehicle that isn't electric. And the auto manufacturers, you know what they're doing? They're innovating. This is what's crazy. You have all these auto worker strikes, and you have all these strikes across the country. They're
Yeah.
asking for more money because they're actually the ones that are responsible for the innovation and building these new technologies, and they want to be paid. These companies right now, these auto manufacturing companies, they're innovating like crazy right now, and they're getting government money to do it. The government is subsidizing them
Yeah.
to. So the government is going to private businesses and saying, like, we understand we don't make the vehicles you do, so this is what we need. We're going to give you tax breaks and incentives for this. Here's the end goal, 2035. Go make it happen.
Yeah.
So instead of these companies planning on making gas guzzlers up until then, they're going to go hybrid and they're going to phase out and go electric. It's the right way to do it. This is how you incentivize companies to do the right thing and hurt the least amount of people as you possibly can.
Okay, but can can the poor afford electric vehicles?
It's only going to be for new vehicles in 2035. So it's only the people. Oh, see you later, chaotic dad. It's only the people who are going into a deal. So 2035 hits. You can buy.
Yes,
You can
I
still buy.
understand. I
Yeah.
understand
So
what's
poor
happening.
people don't buy new cars off the lots anyways.
Yeah, but the price of
So
gas is gonna go higher because less people are gonna drive cars, so therefore the price of
hey,
gas is
dude,
gonna go
the
higher
gas. No, no,
because
no. Wait, wait,
yes,
wait. The demand is
because
going.
they
Wait, no,
because
wait,
the
wait.
big oil still got to make
Let's
their
hold
money.
on. Let's talk. Supply and demand. How does that work?
It doesn't work like that in when it comes to gas, it doesn't
The
because we
gas?
have the
No, 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 no,
gas
no, no.
and it went up.
Gas is
So
always
so
supply
right
and
now, do
demand.
we
So
have a
hold
lot of
on.
gas?
So the demand,
The
the
right
demand.
right now,
Wait,
do we have a lot of gas?
hold on. The demand for gas is going to go down, right?
No, it's gonna
Okay.
continue.
Let me help
It's
you. Let me
gonna
help you. Let me
it's
help you
gonna con
understand some economics real quick. Let me help you
no
understand economics real quick.
because you got it
Hold
all
on.
wrong.
Hold on. No, let me help you understand economics a little bit.
Oh my
If
God.
only poor people are using gas powered vehicles and they can't afford gas because the gas is too high, wouldn't the gas companies go under?
No, because they still got to
Who
pay
would
for
they sell their
gas.
gas to?
The people for a
But
higher
what people, if
price.
they can't afford it, who are they going to sell it to? This is basic supply and demand, dude.
They could afford it. They're affording it right now.
You just said they're not going. Your claim was they're not going to be able to afford gas.
No, I said they're
That
not
was your
going to be.
claim.
I said they're not going to be able to afford electrical vehicles.
And then you said then the price of gas will go up and they won't be able to
Yes,
afford gas. Brother, you don't
yes.
know how supply and demand works. This is just you digging in. If the demand for gas goes down, gas will be cheaper. Most likely what these oil companies are going to do, and you're seeing them do it already. They're investing in green energy. They want to transition. They still want to be energy producers. They're going to change their strategy. And oil will likely be small companies making oil. It'll likely be small companies that are making oil, and they'll have to price that oil at the price they can sell it for because it's supply and demand. So, and because the entire customer base is poor people, it's going to have to be cheap.
Okay.
It's
So
like
if
if McDonald's started charging $30 for a hamburger, they'd go out of business because people with a bunch of money don't usually go to McDonald's, and those that do go to McDonald's looking for a cheap bargain aren't going to pay $30 for a hamburger. It goes under.
okay, so if it's such a good idea, why are not more Democratic states doing it?
Well, a lot of Democrat states, even Republican and Democrat states, I can't think of a single state that isn't investing in green energy. Every
No,
single state
I'm
is
talking about the
investing in green
regulation by
energy.
2035 of having all electric, of only being able to sell all electric
Oh,
vehicles.
mostly support. In California, you can pass that bill pretty easily. In other states, you're going to have a much more difficult time passing that bill.
And what's gonna happen to the people that have small businesses selling used auto vehicles?
What do you mean?
Yeah, so like people that have um small businesses selling used
Like fleet
cars,
services?
are they gonna be able to sell those used cars?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
here's what's going to happen. Yeah. So when the only new cars you can buy are electric, here's what's going to be cool. Everybody with money is going to go buy an electric car because they want a new car. They want the newest and the latest and greatest technology. A lot of people are getting new cars every 2 years. So they're going to sell their gas guzzling cars. And because the cars that they sell that run on gas aren't going to be bought by other rich people, the value of those cars are going to go down. So the first cars that are going to see significant value drop are things like hybrids. You're going to have people with good gas money or like really, really nice cars. Since nobody's going to be buying them that has money, the price of that car will drop. And so suddenly you're going to have these companies buying the cars. They're going to buy them at a lower cost. Overhead will be lower, and you're going to be able to sell them to people at a lower cost. So it's not like everybody's going to be driving around in piece of shits. The gas guzzlers, the ones that are really bad, that are falling apart, those cars are going to be worthless. And cars that are like 5 or 6 years old, that are have better economy standards, might be a hybrid, maybe run on cleaner gas, those cars are going to be really cheap. And the people who couldn't afford them before suddenly are going to be able to afford nicer cars. And 5 years after that, when they go to buy another car, or 8 years after that, you'll have a used electric vehicle, and they're going to buy a used electric vehicle, and eventually everybody's on electric.
I mean, okay, if I mean that sounds all good. I'm not gonna lie, it does, but things don't necessarily go the way we plan them to, and honestly, it doesn't look like it's gonna go that way because if
Why?
it,
Why? What would make it not go that way?
the way that they're doing their infrastructure in California,
Meaning what?
yeah,
Meaning what? That was nonsense. That was nothing.
yeah, their infrastructure, the way they're doing it in California for electrical
Meaning what?
vehicles, is
Meaning
not.
what?
Their charging stations, their charging stations are doing more damage to the so-called climate than um.
We already covered this. Until we can build those charging stations with new technology, that's going to be the case. We've already covered
Okay,
this point.
okay, but you're investing billions of dollars in the technology that we have now, and it's doing more damage than just keeping gas
No, no,
vehicles.
it's not more damage because it's temporary. Sorry, I gotta
Okay.
turn this up. I just had my water pump turn on. Give me 1 second. Sorry, that was loud as shit. It's like if you're building a road, right? Let's say you live out in the wilderness and you're out in the mountains. You build a house and you have like a dirt road there, right? Or you drove in there and now you need more traffic. So you're gonna go in and you're gonna destroy a lot of land. You're gonna flatten it out. You're gonna lay down pavement. It's gonna cost you a lot of money. It's gonna be expensive. It's gonna create pollution while you put down that pavement, right? But as soon as you're done, you're no longer doing the same harm. You're not digging. You're not cutting down trees. You're not putting in pollutants in the air. You're not disrupting wildlife. You do damage, but then when that damage is done, you've got a solution where you don't have to do that anymore. That's the whole point. Yes, we will do short term. We are going to emit more while we're building out the infrastructure. That's absolutely true. But that will end once we are reliant on green energy. And we have to have the infrastructure first before we can rely on green energy.
Yeah, and the investment right now is not for that new innovative energy that you're talking about.
Yes,
So
it
therefore,
is.
everything
Ow.
everything that we build now is gonna have to get torn down, and all that is gonna have to restart.
Everything we've ever built eventually has to either be fixed or torn down. That's literally everything we've ever built. Nothing lasts forever that we build. We always have to fix things. We always have new technology. We're always innovating. That's what we do, dude. Like it's like you want to go back and just live in caves and have no innovation ever, or you
No, I
don't
just rather not have the
not
government tell
innovate.
me
Yeah, no, you're
what.
afraid.
No, no,
You're
what?
afraid.
No,
Yes.
I'd rather have the government not tell me what I can and cannot do. Yeah, if
Well,
they want to go,
unfortunately, well then move. Then
if they
move,
want to go
dog.
do that, if they want to go do that, fine,
Well,
go do
then
that.
move.
But don't
It's
fucking have to make me and force me into doing what you want to
Yeah, I
do.
know, you poor baby. Then move, leave this country because since 1776, our government has been allowed to tell people what to do. It's part of our constitution. It's in the constitution. We're allowed to
No,
tell you what to do. The government is
the
allowed to tell you
government
what
is
to do.
actually is
If you don't like
constrained
that, no,
by the Constitution to do what the
correct.
people want.
Correct. No, not exactly what the people want, but the people do want this. The overwhelming majority of people do want this, and you being a little whiny bitch about it doesn't make a goddamn difference.
Yeah, okay. So
No,
yeah, calling me
you
a
haven't
whiny
made
bitch is gonna
you haven't made a
make a
single
difference in
you haven't made a
proving your
single
point.
point.
Yeah,
The
okay.
At the end of this conversation, after I walked you through every point, your conclusion is I just don't want to be told what to do. Then move, dude. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that the government's
Oh,
telling
so
you to
you
do
like being
something
told what
that's
to
good
do.
for
So
you.
go stick a
I'm
needle in
sorry
your
that
arm,
the
get
government's
injected by
telling you that you have
things
to
that you
follow the
don't know
rules.
because your government said so.
No, all right, dude. Have a good
Yeah,
day.
you do. You do everything your
Mm,
government wants you to do.
yeah, well,
You're a little fake Ty Lopez.
Ty Lopez? Who's Ty Lopez? I don't know who that is. Oh, Ty. Oh, like the little schemer. Oh, I'm not Ty Lopez. Jen, let me know who in the box is. Jen, will you just bring up whose opposition if you know? Um, whoever you want to bring up, I don't care. Odin, dash
Hello.
slash Apollo. Hey, welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Are you
loud and
there?
clear. Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
All right.
Hey, not too bad. What are you doing with all the batteries you get rid of from all these electric cars? And how much do they cost to
I
replace a
don't,
battery?
I don't know. Do you want to tell me?
That's about 10, 15,000 to replace the batteries. They have no disposal places for them.
Okay.
So what are you gonna do with them?
I don't know.
Well, that's problem one, right?
You think we can figure out a way?
I would love to, man, but there isn't a figure. Nobody's figured it out.
Well, that's the case with all new technology. Nobody's figured it out until we do.
Well, how do you think windmills and solar is going to power all this electricity?
What's that?
How do you think windmills and solar energy are going to power everything, all these cars?
Well, I don't think it's just windmills and solar energy, but if we build out a big enough infrastructure, we can do that.
How are you going to do it? What are you going to use for an infrastructure?
What do you mean? What are you going to use? Solar
What
panels
is your
and
infrastructure to
windmills?
support this? I mean, how many windmills and how many solar panels are you going to put over the United States to
A
support
lot.
your energy?
A lot. And the
You ain't
cool
going to
thing
have
about
enough. There aren't enough of them to do
how do
that.
you
You got to
know?
do the math
How do
because
you
I've
know?
done the math.
What's the math then? Explain it to me.
You got to figure out how much wattage that you put out for each increment of your fucking. I'm sorry. I'm getting aggravated.
You can say fuck. It's okay. I don't care.
Nah,
You can cuss here.
oh, you can. All right.
Yeah.
No, just trying to figure. All right, what do you do with who makes the all the electric parts for your solar panels and all that? Where do you think they're being made and how they're being made?
A lot of them are coming from China.
Yeah, and how are they being made by slave labor, aren't they?
Yeah.
So you supporting that?
I mean, I literally can't support. Hold on. I literally can't support anything. Like you're talking on a cell phone. You support slave labor too. We all do. It's a silly argument. Literally everything, every bit of technology that you own, probably most of the parts on your car came that way. That's not unique to solar energy.
How are you going to dispose of all the cars that are on gasoline right now?
I don't know. How do you?
I don't know. You're the one promoting all these electric cars and saying they're good for everybody. Tell me how you said you
No. What I
proved the
said
point.
actually,
You have no points.
well, so
Your points are all wrong.
Odin, let's calm down a little bit, all right? I never made a point.
You keep telling everybody all the points you made. They're not listening to you, and they're stupid. The last guy was on. He
Odin,
said you made like 1,000 points. I didn't hear one.
He brought all of this up. I didn't. Do you see my topic above my head? I didn't bring up electric cars. I'm answering his questions.
I was just going off of what I heard from the last conversation. I just got on the line and thought
so
that.
What happened is
I'm going with that.
So what happened is
I apologize.
All he said is that we're in order to make electric cars, we have to make more electricity in order to make energy, right? And that's like, for example,
the only way to go is nuclear if you want to do that. There's no way to do it with solar.
I'm pro-nuclear, by the way. I'm pro-nuclear. So
that's the only way to do it because you're not going to get it from fans and windmills and solar energy. Ain't going to produce that kind of energy.
Yeah, I think you can. I mean, you could. The infrastructure has to be massive, though. But the other thing is,
you're going to cover the whole United States with windmills. There's going to be no place to put houses, and there's no place to drive a car.
But
there's going to be no way possible with all the electric grid that you need to make that power.
Bro, have you ever been?
How much radiation does the electric grid put off?
Bro, holy shit! You can't just rattle off like 50 fucking things. Let's just have a conversation.
All right, go ahead, buddy.
Okay. So when you're talking about windmills, like I've driven on I-80 in Wyoming, it never stops blowing. There's like a 6-mile stretch where there's windmills.
How long do they last for?
Well, hold on. So is there more area for windmills? Certainly. The other thing I do know is I was in the solar industry just on the sales side, so I don't know a great deal.
How long do they last for? How long does a windmill last? How long does it cost to make? And how efficient is it?
Brother, could I finish? I'm still answering your other questions, okay? So let me answer your questions before you go on to new ones. Is that okay?
Okay, that's fine. Right. I'll slow down for you.
Yeah, if you look at the last 10 years of solar, you know that the new panels have become more compact and they generate more energy. And we've figured out ways to store the energy. Right? Because right now, most people, like my house is connected to the grid. I don't use all of the power that I generate. In fact, that goes back into the grid so SRP can make money on it. So we've got to get better at a couple things. Number one, we've got to get better at bringing in the power and storing the power. But over the last 10 years, we've gotten much better at that. 10 years from now, you don't think technology will have improved?
It probably should have, but do you think we should just drop gasoline off the face of the earth right
We're
now?
not. I'm not advocating for that.
Well,
I'm
that's
not
what they're
advocating.
doing.
No,
They're,
no, no.
Biden's shutting down all our gas. We're paying overseas for fucking gasoline that we shouldn't be paying for.
Well, so
We're
here's
paying $80 or $90 a barrel. We could have it for $5 here in the United States.
Hold on, brother. We are drilling more oil now than virtually almost all of the Trump administration.
I don't think so. Prove to me where that is.
Sure, I can pull.
I work in the nuclear industry. So
Whisper, do you have that? If somebody has that graphic, if you could send it to me, I could pull it up. But I can pull up the numbers. So
how much does it cost to repair
this is
windmills?
Hold on, dude.
Shit.
I know you want to get to that question. We're not there yet, pal. I understand you want to get there, but like, let's see. What is this by? Oh, that's rotary rigs. That's not the number I want.
I don't understand why you want the government telling you how to live. That's not how it works. That's not the Constitution.
I don't want the government telling me how to live.
Well,
I want the government. I want the government to be innovative.
Well, in the last conversation, that's what you said to the other kid. That's where I got the information from.
No, I said sometimes the government's allowed to tell you what to do. They are. That's how our government works.
Oh, there's rules. Yeah, I understand that, but they're not going to tell you what you have to buy, how to live, how much food you get,
sure they
how much food to eat, and all that. Well, sure really? They tell me I can only have one hamburger if I want to have a hamburger, and that's okay with you?
Yeah. How much?
That's kind of idiotic, don't you think?
Where do you buy your Abrams tank?
My what?
Your Abrams tank.
Abrams tank. What's that?
It's a tank.
Tank for what?
Like a military tank. Where do you buy that?
Why? I don't buy one. I've plenty of weapons.
Okay,
I don't buy.
Why would I need a tank?
Why would I need a tank? Because Biden's going to attack us. Why would I need a tank? Because Biden's going to attack us with Air Force.
Calm down.
Then let me finish. You keep cutting me off.
You're so emotional. No, the point is, Odin.
Because you're so stupid.
Hold on. Can you buy a tank? Can you buy an Abrams tank?
Yeah, if I had the money, I could.
No, you cannot. You are not allowed to own an Abrams tank in this country. No, you can't.
Well, why did Biden make a statement that he's going to nuke all the people in America?
Bro, wait, stay on topic. This is crazy, dude. Like, just lower the emotions. I don't know why you're getting so worked up right now. What's going on?
No.
You understand the government definitely tells you what you can and cannot buy, right?
Oh, not really, man. To a limit, yeah.
Can you buy? Yeah, to a limit. Exactly, to a limit. There are limits. This is one of those limits.
Well, you're saying get rid of all gas and it's going to make everything better.
I've never said that.
10 years.
I didn't say that either.
Well, the top's coming out. It's all people are hearing you.
Well, I'm sorry that's how you're hearing me. The reason that came up is the last guest said he was talking about a bill that was put through in California that said by 2035 all new cars have to be electric. So any new car,
bad California is doing right now. California as an example. California's the worst.
Odin.
Well,
yeah, dude, you cut me off.
California's the worst state to use. The fucking most fucked up state.
Odin, dude, why are you so angry? This is why.
Why do you keep cutting me off? That's why I'm getting angry. All you do is like to hear yourself talk.
Odin, you cut me off. I started telling you about a bill that was passed in California, and you cut me off to tell me how bad California was. So can I finish telling you? I'm just trying to tell you what happened, Odin. I'm just trying to tell you what happened.
California's got their electricity up because they can't heat their air conditioner because of the fucking cars.
Great. Odin, you asked me what I was talking about, and I was trying to tell you, and now you're just screaming that you're angry at California. Do you want me to tell you about what I was talking about or no?
Sure, go ahead. Okay. Finish up.
So California passed a bill that in 2035, all new vehicle purchases need to be electric. I was simply explaining to that
young
man.
Impossible.
I was simply, well, it's not.
It is. It's completely impossible.
I'll happily
tell me how it's not. Show me the power you're going to have in 10 years you're going to be able to do this. Tell me.
I'll tell you.
Tell me the power.
Okay, can I?
Yeah, I'm waiting for it.
Okay. So for all new car purchases, meaning not a used car, not going to a used car lot. When you go onto a car lot and you want to buy a new car in California in 2035, every car on a new car lot will be an electric vehicle.
I'm telling you, it's never going to happen. It's not going to happen.
So you can choose to buy that electric vehicle, or you can choose not to. If you don't want an electric vehicle, buy a used car.
Well, that still
I
costs
don't.
gas, though, doesn't it?
What?
A
Yes, it
used car
does.
still.
Yes. So here's
So
the cool
but
thing.
they're talking about phasing out the gas by then. So how are you going to get
Correct.
gas to your car if you don't have any gas?
Well, here's the thing. This is what's cool about our economy. Our economy is all about
Our
supply and
economy's in a
demand.
hole right now. Do you not
Oh
understand
my
that?
God, dude, you're so angry for no reason. You just want to shout. Stop interrupting when you ask questions. I'm trying to explain this to you. Why are you so angry, dude?
Because this
What's got
fucking
you
world's
so
been
what?
since Biden's gotten to the office, this world's gone to shit.
Dude,
That's why.
do you have any recognition at all?
As
That
far as
you
what?
Yeah, that you're just waking up and blaming everything on one guy and you're just angry. You
It's
can't even tell me like what you're angry at. You just keep every time I mention a buzzword, if I say Democrat or California or Biden, you just snap. You're like, fucking California, they're dog shit. Fucking Biden, electric. Like you just snap. At some point your brain has changed into a brain that is incapable of a conversation. You just hear buzzwords and snap.
Yeah, when people talk stupid, yeah, it gets me frustrated
Well,
because
I
you're
was
sitting there
just.
preaching all this. You're preaching all
But
this
I'm not
stuff like you know
preaching.
everything, but you're not making any sense.
Well, you haven't let me finish. So here's how it works.
Well, break it,
If you
do it a little quicker then. I don't need to sit around for an hour to listen to you talk.
well,
Get to the point.
well then I'm sorry. I'm going to answer the questions correctly. I'm sorry if that
Well, you
doesn't
can answer it a
happen.
little quicker, can't you?
You're giving
You
me
have the
about
ability to talk a little
okay.
faster. Or,
You're giving me about 4 seconds per answer.
I'm
That's
going to
not.
talk about.
It's
Give me
not
your
quite
answer. I'll complete
it's
it.
not
I'll
quite generous
completely.
to explain this. Okay.
Well,
So
go
all
ahead.
new vehicle purchases in California, which by the way, every auto manufacturer that exists is already preparing for this. California is the 5th biggest economy in the world. California is one of the only states that can do this, and they put the demand on these auto manufacturers. They say you can't sell shit here if it's not electric. So the auto manufacturers, if you followed them, they are all investing heavily, and even like
I think they're on strike.
especially the luxury ones like
I thought they were on
BMW.
strike. I thought the other guys were on strike,
They
weren't
are
they?
on. Well,
Why they
they've
on
actually.
strike? Because they're all going to lose their jobs when get electric cars get put in. Because everybody's going to lose their job.
You gotta see. Did you see how quickly you just changed the? See, you heard auto manufacturers and you heard workers and you
Yeah,
ran to the
I'm sorry.
strike. See, this is your
I
entire.
won't be able to
Dude,
retain everything. I
you're
won't
the
be able to
most
retain
easily.
everything.
You're just
I
so
won't be able to
triggered,
retain everything
dude.
you say if you keep
Well,
talking. Let me.
Well, if you don't stop changing the subject, then you're not going to learn a goddamn thing. But you keep every time you hear a word you don't like, you freak the fuck out. So all of these auto manufacturers, they've already put into place a plan to provide electric vehicles, especially in California. So all new cars starting 2035 in California will be electric. That will actually drive the cost down for the cars that they trade in or they sell.
They don't have
Eventually,
the power. They won't have the
so
power to do that.
what?
They're not going to have the grid to do it. So you're talking something that's not going to happen. So we're
Well,
making up a story right now.
well,
That's what they plan. That's an
wait,
opinion. That's an opinion. It's not a
brother,
fact.
brother. How many
Brother.
new? Yeah, it's just the new cars. Okay, it's just the new purchases of cars that year, and they have built out infrastructure, and they are building out infrastructure. That's why they pushed it to 2035. So
Didn't they build a train in California to go the length of the fucking thing, but they can't?
One thing to see, stop changing subjects, dude. This is crazy. You just want to be mad about something. This is what like republicanism has done to you. You're just angry at literally everything. You hear a word and you freak the fuck out. So we're hold on. We're basing this projection on 2035, and we're basing that projection off of the technology that we have now. Do you think our technology will be better or worse 10 years from now?
That depends on what happens with AI, I guess.
Our technology when it comes to solar, do you think it will be better or worse than it is now in 10 years?
I don't think it'll be any better because I don't think it's going to continue
What
to go the way
now
it is.
is it
It's
better
too
now than
costly.
it was 10 years ago?
Too costly.
Is it better now than it was 10 years ago? Significantly. Is it more cost effective now than it
Is
was
gas
10
prices
years?
up more now than it was 10 years ago?
You're changing the subject again.
I'm just giving you a comparison.
Is it we're not
That's a
comparing.
comparison. It's not changing the
We're
stuff
having
yet.
a conversation. Calm down, brother. Calm down.
I'm not.
Calm down.
Let me calm down, please.
Well, stop screaming then, dude. Like I honest
I
to God,
talk
like
loud. That's all. I've
no,
always talked loud.
no, brother. Here's the thing. You're just angry.
I'm not angry, bro.
You showed up just to yell at me. It's nuts, dude. You don't seem very capable of just like man to man. You're a grown ass man. just man to man, we can have a conversation, but you can't even get through the smallest conversation without like jumping subjects about something else you're mad at.
There's so much to talk about, and you talk about one thing.
Yes, because that's how human beings talk. They talk about one subject at a time. This
please
is
don't
not
yell at me.
TikTok where you're scrolling.
You're yelling at me now.
I'm
You're
not
yelling now.
What are you
Yes,
talking
you
about?
are. You hurt my
God.
feelings.
I'm sorry, Odin. My sincerest apologies to your feelings. I'm trying to be as real as I can
So
with you,
woke.
dude. Like
Yeah, you're so woke.
Apologizing is woke. I hear you. See, now we're on to wokeness. Dude, you're just a walking rage machine.
You just
got triggered by me.
random
You got
opinions to
triggered by
everybody
me
like they're
saying
facts.
sorry.
You're putting out opinions like they're facts. That's aggravating
what
to me.
have I said? Well, I'm sorry. Is that too woke for you?
Woke is fucked up. Yeah, it is. Woke needs to wake up to reality.
Brother, I gotta tell you, man. I don't know. Smoke some weed or something.
I do smoke weed, brother. Maybe I'll smoke one now and talking. It might calm me down a little bit. You're right. I'll go get one.
Look, you're gonna hate this, but try your best not to interrupt this. Wherever you're getting your information, however you get it, it sounds a lot like you get it mostly in clips, which I'm not. That's fine. I get most of my stuff in clips too, and then I fact check it. But what you're doing,
I do the same thing as you. I get clips and I fact check everything. And a lot of fact checkers are now opinions too. Great. So the fact checkers aren't right; they're opinions. That's been proven. Fact checkers are opinions.
See, that's
been proven.
See, now you're angry at fact checkers.
I'm angry because I talk loud. I told you that. You yelled at me earlier. I apologize. I'm talking normal. You can't handle it.
Stay on subject, dude. Like, it's crazy.
You make a statement, I come back and I give you an answer. You say something, I reply to it. You just keep talking. That's all you're doing.
Actually, I was talking about where you got your information, and then you went on a rant about fact checkers. So that's all I was saying. But Odin,
you said you checked with fact checkers. I agree with you. I told you fact checkers are fucking fake.
Odin, I don't fact check by going to fact check websites. I check the facts.
Yeah, what
I am my
you go to will tell you one thing.
Goddamn, dude. Listen, when I fact check something, like for example, if somebody says that we're not drilling more oil, like that we're not drilling oil, the first thing I'm going to do is go to the EIA and I'm going to look at our drilling numbers. And whatever those drilling numbers tell me, I'm going to say, "Oh, that's what the drilling numbers are." I don't go to a fact check website to ask that. I don't. I just look at the numbers. And at some point, I'm telling you, dude, like our algorithms, everything we consume is meant for like a 15 to 20 second attention span. And they know they only have your attention for that amount of time. So the best thing they can do during sorry to cut you off
right there. When you talk about attention span, you're going for an hour. But go ahead.
Yeah, see, 20 seconds. Exactly.
That's what you're saying. I'm agreeing with you.
Good. So what they have to do then, what these media companies have to do, and people to get clicks, is they have to generate something powerful in those 20 seconds. And emotion is powerful. And there's really two emotions that get people really excited. And it's happiness, or like joy, laughter, or anger. And anger's the easiest one to get people to feel, because in 20 seconds, you can give just a small part of the story and make somebody angry. And Odin, I'm telling you right now, as a liberal, as somebody who cannot stand Donald Trump, who cannot stand a lot of that, I'm not that angry. The world is not collapsing. Our country is not collapsing under Biden, just like it wasn't collapsing under Trump. If we look at the actual numbers,
under Trump, all the news does is make bullshit stories about him.
I know, and I didn't think the world was collapsing under him either. Okay, there's again, you're still talking about news. People want you to be angry. People wanted to make everybody believe that Donald Trump was the second coming of Mussolini.
The government wants to separate us. They want Democrats and Republicans to hate each other, and they're doing a great job of it.
Odin,
that's what the government's doing right now.
Odin,
we need to join together and go against our government. We really need to do.
Then let's find something, Odin, that we can agree on. And the only way that we're going to get agreement is by having discussions without fucking screaming at each other.
Yep.
So the only way, Odin, that you and I could ever get on the same page on all of these issues is to set aside our opinions and look
smoke a bowl together.
Hell yeah. Set aside our opinions and then just go through the numbers. You know what I mean? Like
No,
the
I hear you.
reason,
I hear you.
and I can tell you, Odin, I was a dyed-in-the-wool Republican. All my family is. I held office in the Republican Party. Like I worked on campaigns. I was a
I was a
dyed-in-the-wool.
diehard Democrat until Obama
Right.
got in there. I
I
even
was a
voted for
die.
Obama the first term. I
Let
voted
me.
for Obama the first time.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. But what I can tell you is the way that the reason I left was I can articulate with numbers. It's not opinion. It's not about like, oh, he was divisive. I can articulate my arguments for why I don't support
Okay, how much carbon is our
Republican
air right now?
policies with numbers, with data.
Okay, give me a number then. How much carbon is our air right now that there's global warming is so bad?
Last it was like 6 current.
It's 0.00 or 0.03, 0.04 in our air.
0.003. That's like that's a safe number. It's 416.67 parts per million.
Now,
And
what
I
is
think
that?
the place that the general consensus of safety is 365 parts per million. So
What
we're
was it 10
roughly.
years ago? What was it 10 years ago?
Let me pull up a graph.
It's actually lower now than it was 10 years ago. And it's getting lower.
It's not. So 2013, it was 391 point, or no, that's 11. Excuse me, 396.74. So it's higher now.
What are you using for your checking? What system are you on for that?
I'm on
Who do you use?
This is
Who do you use?
Statista. Let me see where they're pulling these numbers from. I hate
I'm computer
Statista.
illiterate, so I appreciate you doing the looking up because I'm not
Yeah, no
really
problem.
savvy on it.
Sorry, let me get off Statista because they make you pay to see their source. So let me find somebody else. So this is from NOAA's Global Monitoring Lab. That's where Statista's getting it also.
Yeah, I've seen charts.
And this is atmospheric carbon dioxide, and it's on a steady increase. This goes from 1960 to 2020. There is not a single drop. It's just consistently rising.
Well, if you go to other charts, it's showing it's going down, and you can see the government is pushing this because they want to make more money off the people. It's the whole thing. This global warming. Global warming is going on for 20 years. They come up with different ways of calling it.
Well, sure, yeah. The messaging. I'm with you. Let's agree on something. Let's agree on this.
Now. Okay, I'm
Wait,
still talking.
Let's agree on this.
Okay, agreed. Can I keep talking though?
Well,
Now,
you can, but a lot of what you're saying is wrong. Just so you know.
Okay. If you say, that's your opinion.
Well, because I pulled the chart
if the water is rising, and if nobody wants to live on the ocean. I'm just making an example here, right? And nobody wants to live by the ocean. Why is all the rich people buying houses on the beaches and shit? If it's the water's rising so high, global warming so bad, we're going to be underwater in 10 feet in 10 years and all this other shit. Why is all the government people, rich people, buying houses on the water when it's supposed to be really, really sad, scary to live there?
Because it's beautiful.
Oh, is that why? Why are they buying it up though? Why are they living there? If it's so, such a scary place to live.
Do you want the honest? Can I give you the honest answer?
Yeah.
I think most people don't ever think about that.
Well, if you think it's all the rich people who seem to own this, it seems like they're thinking about it by confusing you with some other logic, like there's global warming.
Well,
So
if
they
you
can
look
get
at
all the
the
property.
this global sea level hold on. The global sea level rises about a millimeter to 2 millimeters per year. So if I'm buying a house now on the coast there in California, and it's going to go, and let's say I'm.
Well, I'm talking hurricanes and weather conditions also is what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, I
They
specifically.
preach it. The people they won't even insure those areas now, but the rich people can live there because they get insurance.
Because they're rich, yeah.
Yeah.
They get benefits the poor people don't get, yeah. It's not you realize that that's not an argument against the data though, right? Like I pulled up the numbers, and since 1960 where this started, the atmospheric carbon dioxide has been rising year over year.
Yeah, and that chart, if you go to another chart, that's probably written by, hate to say it, by a Democrat. But if you go to ones written by a Republican, you'll find out that it's been dropping.
It's not. There's not a single.
Why wouldn't it be? There's more technology out there. We need to use more things to cover the carbon, so it doesn't generate as much carbon. But yet you're saying it's rising.
Yeah, because population is rising. The amount of people driving cars is rising. Yeah.
And what do you?
And when things become cheaper, so automobiles, planes, all that stuff, like the more we have of it, the more opportunities we have to use it, the more abundant it becomes, the cheaper it gets.
How much you
Right?
pay to charge a car now?
I
It's
don't
just
have
as
an
much as
electric car.
gasoline.
I don't know.
I'm sure it's as much as gasoline, if not more.
I mean,
And then
I live
you
in
got to sit.
Arizona, so I could probably.
I don't have one either. I can't afford them, but I've heard you got to sit for 3 to 4 hours to charge them, and you go and drive
You don't have to do
320
that anymore.
miles.
You don't have to do that anymore. You
There's
have
no charging stations anywhere.
Well, there's charging stations everywhere, my friend.
Not many, bro. I'm in Florida. I'm in Florida. They're around, but I don't see many.
Listen, if you go right now, if there's
100 electric cars in the area, and there's 5 charging stations.
We're not going to have 5 charging stations, dude. Like,
I'm just using an example, brother, because there's not that many people driving electric cars right now.
That example doesn't exist anywhere. That's a hypothetical that doesn't exist. So yeah, if there were 100,000 cars and only 5 charging stations, that would be a.
I didn't say 100,000 cars. I said 100 cars. I said 100. I didn't say 100,000.
Oh well, even that doesn't exist. You understand? Like most people charge their cars at home. If you live in a state like California or Arizona and you have solar,
they can't use air conditioning.
Wait,
they can't use air conditioning. They would charge their car and use air conditioner.
Brother, yes, you can. I live in Arizona. You can use your AC and your charger at the same time. You absolutely can.
In California, they put out warnings: do not use your AC. They do not. They don't do that.
Well,
so
early with technology, it's gotten a little better. But early on with solar, like again, I sold solar, so we had to give people warnings all the time. And you have a regulator for your solar. So sometimes. And it'll switch to certain things. So when we'd set somebody up, we'd be like, hey, what's the least important thing to keep going if we aren't creating enough energy? A lot of people would say like washer or dryer. And so we would have a switch that, like, if let's say the air conditioner was on and when I turned on the washer and dryer and it was taking up too much electricity, it would kill my washer and dryer before it killed the AC. That's true. But we've gotten far more efficient. I have lots of neighbors in my neighborhood with solar who have Teslas, who literally, the AC runs all day long in the summer here. They're running their AC and they're charging their Tesla. It happens all the time, my friend. And especially if you're doing a slow charge with Tesla, like overnight, it's not taking up that much power. It slowly charges.
All right, that's something I didn't know. But thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah. And then there's cool things with Tesla, like when you use the brakes, it charges your battery. And our technology is getting so much better that they're able to take the movement of the car and create more battery power. 10 years from now, whether it's Tesla or Nissan, it's going to be far more efficient.
They had cars that ran on water. They made hydrogen. And they ran on water. But they killed 3 people that came up with that idea.
I'm going to be honest. I've dug into that conspiracy theory. And I'm saying it's a conspiracy theory because
the latest one happened last year in New York. A guy up in New York got killed at a shopping plaza. He was a security guard. He'd come up with a patent for a hydro car, and he ended up dead. And Biden said that he liked electric cars in the speech.
Yeah, I don't think you can send that to me. Are you talking about the Stanley Meyer?
I'm talking about the shooting in the. It was in I can't remember his name though. It was in upstate New York, and it was in a grocery store, and he happened to be the security guard there, and he had a patent for hydro car, and he ended up dead. And then Biden was giving a speech, and he only mentioned his name in the speech and said that he loved electric cars.
All right, the one I know of is Stanley Meyer. He died in a restaurant, so you can send it to me. I'll look at it.
But back in '76. That was back in '70s.
Anyways, brother.
Yeah, so that's Myers.
Yeah, but again, like if somebody, by the way, if somebody had a water powered car, who most likely, and let's just say this was all real, like Stanley Meyer had a hydro powered car, who would be most likely to not want that to come out?
The government.
No, okay, and which industry?
Just about all of them. You got the metal industry, you got the gas, you got metal. You're just naming one. I'm naming all.
Why metal?
It's not just oil.
Wait, why metal?
You need metal to make cars. No, you need metal to make.
Wait. Hold on. You would still need metal to make hydrogen powered cars, or I mean water powered cars.
No, what
would you make them out of? What would you make a water powered car out of?
It'd still be made out of metal, but see, you wouldn't. That's not what I said. You're taking a wrong.
No, I said who would want that guy not to be alive? The people that make Yeah, the people that
Yeah,
make
I
like
see you
the
with gas. I hear you.
yeah,
Yeah,
gas. Okay. Now
could
let's
be gas. Yeah.
now let's Odin. Let's not draw any conclusions for this because we both agree that we probably can't prove this. But let's just walk down the chain. If somebody wanted that guy not to be alive, it's probably big oil as far as industry goes. Now, which party?
Who's tied in with big oil? Though? I mean,
which
is the
party?
government tied
Which
in
party?
with big oil?
Yeah, but which party gets the most money from big oil? It's not even close, by the way. It's not even close, by the way. You
So
know the
what's happening?
you know the
So who gets the
answer,
most money?
Odin.
Who gets the money
Odin,
from the Democrats for the electricity power
Well,
that's going on?
we
The
can
Democrats
get
are doing
Odin.
electric.
We can
And
get there.
that's all going to
Odin,
China with
Odin!
Biden.
Jesus,
It's going
dude.
to-
Odin,
Dude, you've been
shush.
talking for an hour. I haven't
I'm
cut you off.
asking you questions. I haven't been talking for an hour. I'm asking you questions that you won't answer. So who gets the most money from big oil?
And I didn't give you an answer because you know the answer. Who gets the money from
So
all
why
this
won't you say
electric
it?
and the blue wins?
I'll let you move on to that
The
after. But why
Democrats are
won't
getting the
you
money
answer?
from the new systems.
Why
That's
won't
why
you
they're cutting
answer
down
this
the gas
question?
systems.
Why won't you answer this question?
You know the answer. Why do
Well,
I
why
have to
won't
answer?
you say it? This is weird, dude.
Why is it strange?
Is this kind of, so
Is it not? If I'm not giving you the answer, is it not strange that it seems the Democrats
it
are
feels
making all the money
It
off
feels
electric cars?
cowardly, is what it feels like. It feels cowardly.
Yeah, I'm a coward. I'd knock you through the fucking wall.
That's being able to fight and being a coward are not the same thing. You won't even admit that it's your party that subsidizes big oil. Like you won't even say that.
Why do I have to? It's been said.
You don't have to. I'm just wondering why you won't.
But you call me a pussy?
I didn't call you a pussy. I called you a coward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do something about it. I'll fucking knock your shit out, buddy. Where do you live? I'll come see. I'll come visit you, big guy.
Okay. I live in Arizona. It'll be nice. I'll make some dinner for
family in
you.
Arizona. I'll come out.
Can we hug?
I'll give you a hug, buddy. You won't wake up from it though.
Oh, why?
It'll be nice.
It'll be that good.
You probably fall asleep. You probably fall asleep.
So you now want to fight me because I pointed out that you wouldn't answer a question that you know the answer to, but you're just afraid to say it. And now now you physically want to get violent.
No, you're just being a dick now. Is what you're doing for all
I'm
your
not being a dick. I asked you a question. You won't answer it.
I didn't have to. Why do I have to answer you?
You don't have to. You just kind of sound cowardly if you don't.
Answer. Now you're being a dick and for pissing me off.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So if you want to hug, let's fucking hug.
I do want to hug. I love hugs.
Bring it.
I'm a big fan of hugs.
Bring it, you transgender boy.
I'm not transgender, but it's good to see the transphobia come out now. That's great.
Can you have a baby?
What's that?
Can you have a baby?
You're a man, right? I have a child.
No, I'm saying yourself. Can you produce a baby?
Can I produce a baby? Nobody can produce a baby by themselves.
Can you give birth to a baby? Would it work better for you?
I do not have a uterus. No.
Then why did transgender say that men can have babies?
Well, if somebody has a uterus and they identify as a man, did you really you transitioned this to you just want to be transphobic now? Bro, you're one of the most angry, crazy people I've ever talked to. Like, you didn't want to answer a question about who cares about big oil, and then you started threatening me, and then for some reason just became, like, transphobic. What the fuck? Do you recognize on any level how crazy this jump was? Why are you so mad? Like, what is going on, dude? You just want to be mad. You just showed up today, and you're like, I want to scream at people on the internet, and when I get stuck, I'm just going to be transphobic.
Yep. You got me.
All right, brother. Be well.
Yeah, suck it.
It's the modern day GOP. All right, Jen, are you still here? Jen, do you want to bring up who's next? What do we have? Sorry. It says I have messages from Jen, but I can't pull them up. Oh, Bad Views. You're looking great. I don't know if Bad Views is still here. He might have taken off. Oh, he is. What's up, Bad Views?
Oh, how's it going?
That guy used to be on your side. How do you feel about that?
He's mad at the world.
Yeah. I do want to give him a hug. I think he might not like it, but I would give him Odin. If you want a hug sometime, we'll do it.
I'd give you a hug.
Thanks, bro. I'll hug you too.
But yeah, you'd stay awake the whole time.
I'm coming to your state next month. If I have some time, we got to get together and get some coffee because I know you don't drink, but we'll get some coffee.
Yeah, we should.
All right. What do you want to talk about?
So there were two polls the New York Times put out the other day. One was a generic Democrat versus Trump, and
Yeah.
the generic Democrat wins all 6 swing states easily.
Mm-hmm.
When it's Trump v. Biden, Trump is winning 5 of the 6 swing states.
Yeah, I saw
And
that.
I'm just like, it is like, what are the Democrats trying to elect Donald Trump?
Dude, it sucks. Honestly, as a Democrat, here's what sucks. We didn't plan for this. Um, we should have held Biden to we should have made a deal with Biden when he took off. Say like, look, dude, you're getting 1 term. There's going to be real problems. If I don't know what to even do at this point. We don't have anybody in the race really that can step in and win now. I think maybe that's what Dean Phillips is trying to do. Um, I don't know what they do. I don't know how much I trust the poll, but I do trust that I actually trust that a generic Republican or Democrat would both do better than the people they're putting up.
Yeah. Now,
Polls
like in
show that.
2020, like Joe Biden, I think said himself that he was just going to be a transitory president.
Yeah.
So it's like he talked about just 1 term. Like,
Now, be
what?
careful with that, because Odin thinks you meant trans, but you meant transitory.
So
Joke.
I just find it super frustrating, especially like I posted the polls in the Discord, and everybody in there, it's too late. It's too late. We have to stick with Biden. It's like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Like you have.
Well, because we can't. Well, in all fairness, we can't run RFK. He's
Well,
gone
he's not
now.
running
He's
as a
gone now. Yeah,
Democrat
he's
anymore.
gone now. Anyways, we can't run Marianne. And I don't know about like Dean Phillips doesn't seem to be like running an actual campaign. I would have liked to see. Here's the problem. Just if we're being fully honest, if you introduce somebody now, like let's say you introduce Gavin Newsom, and Gavin Newsom comes on, and Joe Biden decides like, yeah, we're going to debate and we're going to primary. It's just hurting yourself more by going to these primaries and debating. It's why Trump isn't debating. Trump does not want to have a moment on the debate stage where he can be where he can look stupid, and Biden would have lots of those, especially if he was debating Gavin Newsom. And I don't know if enough people would switch from Biden to Gavin Newsom. Some people are loyal. I don't know. I don't think it's a no. I don't think it's fair to say there's no way we could run somebody else, but if we run somebody else as Democrats, it's got to be somebody that's going to be overwhelmingly popular. Remember, Joe Biden was a late addition to 2020. He wasn't running from the beginning. But if the Republicans or Democrats are going to put up anybody else, it's got to be somebody like Gavin Newsom, Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
I'm trying to even think of somebody that's even popular enough. I don't know. Maybe I have no idea. I don't know who you could put up. Honestly, like Newsom or Michelle Obama. Maybe Buttigieg. Buttigieg could be good. I don't know the demographics on like moderate Democrats and how they would feel about having a gay president. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I think if it's Trump versus Biden, well, in RFK, I think he's pulling over like 20 points in a three-person race, which
yeah, and he's pulling from Trump mostly. Did you see that?
I know he's definitely pulling from both. Like I love the idea of being part of like a third party person to get electoral college votes. Like if we got to that point in this country, I think I would have hope again. Which I mean, maybe he can win some small states. I don't know, but I mean, at this point, if it's Trump v. Biden and RFK's in there and Trump wins with like less than 40% of the vote, like whose fault is that going to be? Like I would blame the Democratic Party myself.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty to go around. I can't. It's hard for me to blame the Democrats when there's people voting for Trump, because it's not even voting for Trump isn't like necessarily. It's not just a policy thing. It's not just that he's a bad guy. It's not any of those things. It's that he's actually running on fascism. And that makes me nervous that either we have more fascists in this country than I thought, or people aren't going to recognize fascism when it's in front of them. I think it's the second one. I think people have no idea what fascism is, and I think they have no idea how to identify it. And it does make me nervous. I've never, if Trump wins, I'm not going to move. But if an opportunity came to move and leave the country where my ex and my daughter could go with me, I would move. I am nervous about the vindictive nature of Trump and his fascist ideologies. I don't think Trump was a fascist. I don't think he was a fascist until somebody said, like, hey, here's a cool plan where you get a bunch of power. I'm not even sure he's aware that he's running on fascism. I'm not sure he's aware on anything that he's running on. I actually think he's cognitively far more impaired than Joe Biden. But that scares me, that as a country, we can't recognize fascism. We should be able to correctly identify fascism.
Yeah. Yeah, he's lost a step. I saw a little clip of him talking. It's not the same as 2016.
Yeah. Trump was relatively articulate in 2016, 2012. Like, he said some crazy things, but he's relatively articulate before. It's not the same. It's so sad. It really is a worldwide embarrassment that these are our candidates. But I really hope to God Trump doesn't win.
Yeah, I agree. So maybe one of these days in your background, you can put, like, you know, never Joe.
Never Joe. Okay.
Yeah, Joe can't win.
I'll pray about it.
All right.
All right, brother.
Well, later.
See ya. Thank you guys for viewing the product description there. I got a warning saying that I wasn't talking about the product enough. I don't really care about that. I didn't know I had to do that on a bunch of lives, so I'm not going to push that. The headset I had on, we used it at the beginning. I obviously had set it up wrong, but I did use it for gaming, for a $60 gaming headset. It was really good. The audio was good. The audio on the other side was coming through good, so just a heads up there. Jen, do you have who was next? Thanks, Bad Views. How's Discord? Discord doesn't like, they feel like I'm turning on them. I haven't been reading Discord very well.
Hey,
Alex. Hey.
Hold on. Having a lovely day, are you?
I'm having a love. I don't mind being yelled at. It's kind of just what I do. It's okay. I don't mind it.
Take a nap from being yelled at. I wanted to ask you real quick. Have you seen Unfit, the documentary on Prime?
Maybe. Let me look it up.
Oh, it's like the 4 psychiatrists that are discussing, the fact that he's a malignant narcissist and people need to wake the fuck up. This is some real tribal shit. And
I haven't seen that.
Oh, please see it.
Okay.
Please see it.
Okay.
There's a part where they were talking about Jane Goodall and this experiment they did with with chimpanzees, and I swear to God, you're just gonna melt when you see that. It's just gonna be like, what?
Looking forward to it.
They're the bad chimpanzees. Like, it's scary as fuck. But I suggest checking that out. Lots of educated people speaking in that documentary, and the poll thing does freak me out because it's like they're not voting for policy. They're voting because they think this guy's gonna check your ballot and then come to your house and be like, no, you turned on me.
Well, yeah, it's just grievances. It's just people who have been programmed to be upset. Every bit of opposition we've had today is literally just gish galloping through talking points that they've heard. They're upset. They don't know what to do about it. They're not gonna. They won't believe that they're just being lied to and that all these awful things aren't happening. They'll never check to see if that's the case. So they're just led to believe that nobody else is seeing what they're seeing. And I understand how that could make you feel angry and not have impulse control, because it's honestly what they think. They honestly do believe that all the stuff that Donald Trump is saying, all this election stuff, all this stuff about people trying to turn everybody's kids trans, like, they believe it. Yeah. They believe everything. And so it's such a challenge when people have left reality, when they no longer consume news that's news. They don't consume facts that are facts. They just turn on their screen, whether it's TV, cell phone, computer, and they just consume shit that's meant to make them angry. However long they're looking at it, it just make them angry. Shane Gillis has an unbelievable bit about his dad. He's like, his dad is a Fox News dad. He says something like, my dad watches Fox News every night, and he just watches Fox News until he can't anymore, and he shuts it off and goes, fuck this, fucking trans, and goes to bed. But it's honestly like, That's honestly what consuming right-wing media is now.
Yeah.
They just scare the shit out of you until you either become crazy or you turn it off and go to bed.
If you don't look at them after, like, if you don't look at Jesse Waters and just be like, huh?
Yeah.
You know, like after he said something, it's just something's wrong with your brain.
Yeah.
You've crossed over to the other side. But cool. I'm gonna go get my kid. You have a wonderful
All right,
day.
you too.
Keep up the good fight, and I'd love to hear you talk about Unfit after you watch it.
Okay, I'll try and watch it this week.
All
I
right,
appreciate
take
the
care.
suggestion. Thanks.
Sure,
See ya.
bye.
Bye. All right, Jen, who's next? What's left-wing media? Look, I'm going to tell you, I don't think left-wing media is nearly as bad. Not even close. Well, I mean, Fox News got sued for like $1 billion for lying, and then, hey, how you doing?
I'm doing awesome, man.
Good. What's up?
You know, I had an interesting thing happen on one of my live streams where there was a MAGA person that came on, right? And something that I recognized was that, you know, I had more in common with him than I had thought. You know, I actually humanized him. And what I came to understand was that in a very real way, these people are victims. You see, you know, we've all been exposed to 100 years of heavy propaganda. And when you talk about the freedom of the press was created to hold accountable tyranny. It was a means of communication, like the internet, right? Where, you know, we would have a way of understanding what was happening within our government and hold it accountable. And now today, our democracy that's supposed to be for the people and by the people, I mean, obviously you can see and follow the money, but these media outlets, I mean, if you ever want to talk about reparations and you want to talk about freedom, when you have a society where we can't discuss policies because we have systematically bifurcated reality from people conveniently into blocks of voters, and it starts with our education system. Because when we teach people how to define reality by learning about it through the memorization of flashcards, and, you know, people are perpetuating life stuck in permanent adolescence, where there's a bigger ramification psychologically that is at play here, where, in my view, 2008 was sort of a precursor where we saw that 100 years of capitalism funded through credit and what it's done, you know, that system literally failed totally. And we have a whole society of people that are in unprecedented levels of debt, where our whole economy, all the prosperity that we could talk about, has really just been one cash out refinance after the other, where we've created unlimited demand by allowing corporate America to take money today so we have to pay for it over 30 years. And, you know, we've used profound and powerful Freudian psychology that the psychology that's used today is called public relations. And if you wanted to understand it, you could watch a documentary called The Century of the Self, which is about the life of Edward Bernays, who is Sigmund Freud's nephew. And he brought modern public relations into existence with the creation of the very first PR firm. He created the focus group, planned obsolescence, you know, product placement, celebrity endorsements, and he single-handedly said, I am going to transform the U.S. economy from a needs-based economy where people only purchase goods and services based on need to one of unlimited aspirations of the identity. And his model for understanding the human mind was exactly what you would call narcissistic personality disorder, that he himself was one. And so they've essentially created a culture of identity where people today thinking I'm a man, I'm supposed to be a provider, or I'm a woman and feminine, and you look at what we consider to be normal today is in fact an abomination of human nature. You know, people that are raised to be absent any form of empathy, competing with one another, where we merely participate in education to try to find a fit within a bigger economic model, trying to pursue the American dream, where happiness has been severed and we are in perpetual pursuit of it. And in a very real sense, the very systems of media have turned us against each other, where it isn't necessarily going to be effective to demonize and blame the MAGA people anymore, because the MAGA people are the investment. They are the product of that. This type of psychology is insidious. And when you're talking about a lot of these people, they have a natural lack of trust and fear. And that's turned a lot of people towards conspiracy theories, because every one of us knows that there's just something wrong with the system in general. Now,
Yeah. Have you, you seem to be in this. Have you read the book Mindfucked?
no,
Okay, it's really interesting. So it's about Cambridge Analytica and how they use data and like profiling to find out who the most who's most apt to believe in conspiracy theories and who's most apt to act and to react to those type of things.
yeah.
They heavily influenced the 2016 election and the Brexit campaign. But Mindfucked is an incredible view into kind of what you're talking about. It's more of a, I haven't watched Century
Well,
itself.
the century
but
itself is important because it started over 100 years ago.
right.
We are talking about the foundation of every single civilization today. We're talking about every single piece of propaganda, and every single country is using these teachings. This person was so profoundly powerful. His first social experiment was doubling tobacco sales overnight.
Yeah.
He actually went to tobacco, and this was an experiment that launched public relations into existence, where he went to tobacco and said, I can double tobacco sales. They laughed at him. And he said, how are you going to do that? He said, women. And so what he did is he actually went to the suffragettes, which would be like, modern feminists in a way. And he paid them. And he paid them all to pull cigarettes out of their blouse at a very specific time during a parade. And he tipped off all the news networks, or, all the papers, and said, you got to watch. There's going to be this special, it's going to be a protest against patriarchy. And he coined the phrase torches of freedom. And he understood,
Freedom torches.
No, seriously, he understood, because he created the focus group. He wanted to understand the woman's relationship to the cigarette.
Yeah.
So they could create the messaging that would
that was the messaging, right? That it was a show of freedom. It was a show of like self-expression, right?
Overnight, housewives across the country to protest the patriarchy, to find their piece of freedom with smoke. And to this day, cigarette smoking for teenagers is a sign of rebellion. Yeah. And it worked immediately. And so then it got everyone's attention. And so they realized that, you see, the United States economy had a problem.
Listen, hey, real quick.
Anyway.
I would like to actually, will you add me? I'm going to add you. I actually think what you have to say is really interesting. And I'd like to have a longer discussion with you, but one where I could be a little more prepared. I think you and I could have a really good discussion. And I don't mean to cut you off, because honestly, I'm actually interested in this.
Well,
and
because I've been very frustrated watching the MAGA thing and looking at Trump. I mean, we have a real problem.
But hold on,
sorry.
It's just because I'm running out of time. I have a hard cutoff at 1, and I've got some things I need to get to. Would you mind? I just followed you. Would you mind shooting me a DM? I would love to have this discussion more long form, where I could maybe narrativize it a little bit, and maybe something in Discord, because you're really knowledgeable and I'm interested in this. This audience usually shows up for something a little bit different, but I think what you're saying is important, and I'd love to do this another time.
I think we need to find unity, and understand.
Yeah, I know, but would you be okay with that?
Totally. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Shoot me a DM
right now.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. Let's do it again. Let's see it. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut that off. I do need to get to a couple things. I think that's interesting. I think that type of stuff, I would need some preparation, but I think that would be an interesting conversation to have for an hour or so. I also learned a lot from that, and I'll be reading or watching that. Now what was it called? No, did I lose it? DM me the name of that documentary too. I know it was a British one. Where did it go? Did I lose it? Son of a bitch. Guess I lost it. Anyways, DM me that. Next up, who's here? Jen, do you have who opposition is? By the way, while you're waiting, Jen, she's been taking care of all the guests today. Thanks, Jen. Infectious Bites, Korean Leftists here. I don't know who else of the moderators are here. No, I haven't seen everybody else here. I don't know if Whisper was here. Yolanda's here. Anyways, do we have somebody? Diva's here. Thanks, Diva. I hadn't seen you yet. Oh, no, I saw you at the beginning. Not Unfit. I know Unfit. The one he was talking about. Ivory's not a mob, but you're here. That's right. Maybe Jen bounced. Let's go. Let me look at these. Do you have it, Jen? Oh, there we go. Whoever this is loading. That one might not load. Caitlin. I don't see Caitlin working. No on Caitlin. If you're opposition, stay in the box. If you're not opposition, would you drop down, please? Discord is down? Oh, is it really? Oh, shit. Discord crash. All right. Well, maybe I don't have Jen then. All right. I'm going to take a guess. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Jen. Peaks, welcome. Hello?
Did I
Peaks?
come up or you invited me?
You were in the box, I think.
Oh my goodness, that was an accident. I don't even know how I got in there. I'm not.
That's all right. All right, thanks, brother. See ya. All right. I'm just going to go through the list then. Austin M. Austin, you... Oh, shit, I brought up two people at once. God damn it, sorry, Jen. Austin, you're getting the boot, but go back in the box. That was my bad. DZ49, welcome. Sorry, Austin. I didn't trust my moderator.
What up, man?
Hey, how are you?
How's it going?
Good.
So I'm supposed to try to convince you. I doubt that can
Sure,
happen.
I mean...
I just got a question.
Yeah.
Got a question. I mean, are you happy that our current president hasn't visited the current crisis at the border yet?
I don't give a shit about that. I don't
give
care
no shits
what
about that, huh?
I don't care what a politician goes to the border. Every politician who's ever gone to the border does it as a publicity stunt. I live in a border state. They're not going to go down there and do anything. There's nothing they can do.
Why not?
What are they going to do?
At least acknowledge that there's a crisis going on at the border. I mean, they haven't even acknowledged that there's a crisis going on.
You don't think Biden's acknowledged that we have a bunch of people coming over the border?
No, he hasn't been there to acknowledge it. He hasn't even seen it.
So you have to go down there to acknowledge it. Yeah, I mean that's silly political stuff. I would not care if a Republican was in office. I wouldn't care. I didn't really love it when any politician came to Arizona as a way to use the border for politics. I think it's silly. I don't care about that.
Okay, so you don't care that our current president hasn't acknowledged that there's a crisis going on.
He's
okay?
acknowledged a lot. No, well, he's acknowledged a lot of things about the border. I don't know exactly. Like, what do you want him to say specifically? You just want him to say the word crisis?
I mean, sure. He hasn't even said crisis, that there's a crisis going on. Because
why does he need to say crisis?
We need to know that there's a crisis going on at the border. There is. There's more people coming to the border right now than there ever has been.
Could you explain what the crisis is?
I just did. There is more people coming over the border right now than there ever has been. And
what's wrong?
Not only that, that's only the people that we know that are coming over.
But what's wrong with that?
That we don't even know by airplane.
But what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that? There's multiple things wrong with that. For one, there's countries emptying out prisons. Are you happy with prisoners coming over the border and talking to your kids, possibly? I mean, is that cool?
I've never had somebody, not once have I had a criminal from another country come across the border and talk to my child. And I live in a border state. Like, what are you talking about?
So do I. Exactly.
Exactly
And
what?
now there's more people coming over the border than there ever has been, and that is a
Okay,
possibility.
that a former criminal will speak to my daughter. That's okay. It's okay if somebody that was a former criminal speaks to my daughter. That's okay.
Oh my God. Wow, what world are you living in? That's okay with you? You're cool with that? A former
Yeah, I
prisoner
don't think
coming
that
over the
when you
border.
commit a crime that you should never be able to speak to a child again. That's the world I live in.
I'm not saying his or her own child. I'm saying your
I
child.
know. Yeah, I don't care if there's people that I know in my life that have committed crimes that speak to my children or my child, excuse me. I don't have children. Yeah.
Okay. So
I
you're
have
saying
family members
everybody's
who
good faith.
were I have family members who went to prison and they speak to my child.
Okay, so you're basically saying that there's no bad people in this world.
No,
Everybody's
obviously, I didn't
everybody's
say
so nice.
anything like that. I'm asking you to tell me what the problem is. And so far, you've said a criminal might speak to my daughter. Uh,
Well,
do you recognize possibly that you aren't that educated on this? Like you know that a lot of
I
people are
believe you're
coming.
not very
You're right.
educated on this.
Well, I know what you know. I know that a lot of people are coming over. But when I've asked you what the problem is, you can't seem to tell me what the problem is.
Okay, and then another issue is there's some local jurisdictions that allow these immigrants to actually vote.
Correct.
Is that not an issue to you as well?
Well, the only jurisdictions that allow people to vote are they allow people to vote who are either permanent residents or have work authorization. And I'm okay
No,
with
look
that.
it
I
up. There's
think I
local
think if you
jurisdictions
have
that
I think
actually
if you
allow.
have work authorization or you're a permanent resident but not a citizen, yeah, I'm okay with those people voting. I like that. In fact, I advocate for that. I think anybody that lives in this country who has work authorization or is a permanent resident should be allowed to vote.
Okay, so you're fine with people coming to this country illegally, is what you're saying.
Uh, I would rather it be legal. I would rather a much easier process. But I don't understand what the big issue. Like we have a lot of problems in this country, a lot, and people coming here illegally probably doesn't scratch my top 30.
Okay. No, I'm not saying it does. I'm just saying it's one of the issues. There's a
Oh, is
crisis
the
going on, and it doesn't scratch one of
but
your top
what's the
30.
crisis? What's the crisis?
Dude, there is a crisis at the border. Can you not?
What?
If you don't,
No. We agree. There's a
you
lot
can't
of
acknowledge
people.
that yourself.
No, hold on. The fact that there's a lot of people doing something does not mean it's a crisis, right? A
Okay.
lot of people. A lot of people watch the news every night. That doesn't make it a crisis. The crisis is
Our border patrol is
is
being
what's
overtaken.
happening. Well, what
Our
do you
border
mean?
patrol is
What
being
do you mean by they're
overtaken.
being overtaken? What does that mean?
There is more people crossing the border than we can
Mm-hmm.
handle
True. So what's the crisis?
illegally. There is more people crossing the border than we can handle illegally, and we're not catching all of them. There's some of them that are coming
Okay, so
over that
what's
we
the
don't
crisis?
know of, that we
You're still
don't.
telling me things that I agree with. We agree on all these facts. But what's the crisis?
That is the crisis.
The crisis is just that
So
the crisis is just that people are coming here. That's the crisis.
yes, illegally. I mean, try if you're an American, aren't you? Try to go to
I
any other country. Can you go to any other country illegally
probably I could probably go across the southern border or the northern border.
without your passport?
I mean, I could in a way that yeah, not through a port of entry, just like people can't come through our ports of entry without a passport. But if I went through a hole in the wall, or if I went for a long hike, I could probably do it.
Okay, and in other countries, there's actually stricter laws
In
that
some countries,
restrict you
yes.
from being a citizen.
In other countries, the laws are far less severe. So again,
Okay,
now
what
you're just
countries?
saying you're just saying a bunch of things that exist. You still haven't told me what the problem is. What's the
No, and
problem?
I totally agree. I mean, I agree with what you're trying to say. I'm cool with people coming over here that want a better life, and that's awesome. That's cool. I'm all for it, man. But when it gets to a point where there's more than we can handle illegally coming over here with no
Why can't we handle these
uh,
people? Okay,
passport, nothing.
so you're saying we can't handle them. Are you saying that like we can't handle like the amount of people, like getting them through legally, or are you saying our country can't take more people?
Wait, what?
When you say we can't handle it, are you talking about specifically Border Patrol, or are you saying like our country can't handle more people?
No, our border patrol cannot handle the amount of people. I've said it already.
Okay, so we should probably invest in Border Patrol. We should give more money to Border Patrol, and we should probably get more
Absolutely,
judges
and we should have
to. Okay,
Yep,
well,
and we
good
should have
news.
never opened up the borders.
Good news. Biden is giving more money to Border Patrol, and he's trying to get more judges. So sounds like he's trying to fix the
Well,
problems
maybe he
that
should
you don't
acknowledge the
like.
crisis.
What crisis? You haven't
Yeah,
even.
maybe
You
he
can't
should
even
visit.
tell me what the crisis is.
Dude, I've told you multiple times, and you keep saying I can't tell you. I've already
You
told
said,
you.
yeah, you said that Border Patrol can't handle it. That's the crisis, and he should do something about that, and he is. So
Yeah, and there was a point, I think, actually, our Border Patrol had to close the borders because there was a point in time where the borders were open, and it just did not work.
what does open mean? The border
So,
has never. What are you talking about? What is
yeah,
an
so there was a
open
point in
border?
time when this administration, it was open during
No,
this
that's not true.
administration.
That never happened.
It is true. Now
No,
they're
it's not
not.
true. No, we haven't changed any of the rules in the border. The only thing that happened is we had Title 42, which was basically sent workers back to Mexico during COVID because there were no jobs. So these are people that were supposed to be here working. There were no jobs available, so they went back to Mexico. The big surge that we saw, the biggest surge that we saw, happened when we ended Title 42. And part of the reason we ended Title 42, one of the biggest reasons, is because of agriculture. We have farmers in border states all over this country and outside of border states who are dependent on migrant labor. So we had farmers that were unable to plant and process their crops. I live in Arizona where we get 90% of the lettuce. Do you remember when the lettuce, like everybody's freaking out because lettuce had like quadrupled in price? It's because 90% of our lettuce comes from here in Arizona down by Yuma. And we had lettuce fields that were just rotting because we didn't have enough labor to pick. And so Title 42 ending that allowed that migrant labor to come back. And then you saw the stabilization of a lot of agricultural prices. It was a net good thing. What's happened, DZ, and hopefully you can recognize this, is you're probably seeing a lot of stuff about the border. But somehow along the way, with everything that you've taken in, nobody has been able to articulate to you what you're supposed to be upset about other than there's people coming across. Now, if you can point to reasons why I should be afraid that people are coming across the border, that it's going to hurt us in any way that like doesn't already exist, then explain that to me. But outside of an anecdotal story that somebody might show up here and somebody might commit a crime, like that's not a reason for me to close the border. We have 11 million jobs here in the United States that are unfilled. We have companies specifically in the tourism and in agriculture. We have these companies that cannot fill the spots that they need for their businesses to survive. We desperately need labor. So the fact that there's a bunch of people at the southern border coming here looking to work, in my view, is a good thing. Now, if we didn't have open jobs,
who says that they're looking to work? Look at how busy the streets are already. There's more homeless people than there has ever been. You say I'm not worried about them taking my job.
Why is homelessness have to do with immigration? Like, what's the connection there?
What is the connection? Are you
yeah, what does homelessness have to do with immigration?
I'm not worried about them taking our jobs, dude. My job's secure. I'm fine. But
no, we have jobs. It's not about taking our jobs. It's taking the jobs that we need to be filled.
Now they're under our hands. Our government is going to be.
We have 11 million jobs unfilled. We desperately need labor. People should come across the border. We should give them work authorization, then they can work.
Then go to the streets of San Francisco and pick up a good handful. You'll find a ton of labor there. We don't need any more, do we?
Those people could go work labor jobs. They could go work those jobs anytime they want to. They're not.
Exactly. So
what are you saying?
Are coming here ready to work.
Yes, there are people willing and ready to work, to take jobs that are open.
Yes. And I'm not saying that there isn't.
And you want us to go round up homeless people in different cities and force them to do work? Are you talking about labor camps now? You want forced labor camps? Is that what you're looking for?
No, I'm saying there's people already looking for work here.
I understand, but what you just advocated. Well, how do we get the people who are unhoused currently to go work the jobs that are open? How do we do that?
That's a good question. And it's going to be even a better question when we have a handful more people on the streets.
Brother, do you recognize like that you have no answers to anything? You don't seem to even grasp the problem. You just want to complain about immigration. You don't know what people are coming here for. You don't know about the jobs. You have no solution. You've just been told that you should be afraid that immigrants are coming. Like you can't answer any of these questions. That should concern you.
What questions? I mean, I've answered every single question you've asked me, so I'm not
How
sure
do we
what you're
fill
talking
these
about.
jobs?
How do we fill these so many jobs that are you're saying that there's so many jobs that
11
are
million.
available?
11 million.
11 million jobs that are available right now.
Mm-hmm.
Can you prove that?
You can pull the jobs numbers. You want me to
Because
pull the
right
jobs
now I'm
numbers?
pretty sure our economy is shit.
Well, of course you do, but why is our economy shit? While I'm pulling that up, could you explain to me why the economy's shit? We're at historic low unemployment. Our unemployment numbers are at historic lows. Can you explain to me what's wrong with the economy?
I don't know if I believe that either, because during COVID, I don't know if I believe that
what's
either,
wrong
because
with the
during COVID,
economy?
nobody was working.
Can you explain to me what's wrong with the economy right now?
There's a lot. Joe Biden is printing more money as president than any other president has ever printed.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't see nothing wrong with that.
Well, you said the economy.
You don't see nothing wrong with Joe Biden printing more money than any president.
No, Joe Biden actually injecting money into our economy has saved it. Now, it's a temporary measure, and what we need to do is we need to have a fair tax structure where the money doesn't just go to the top and accumulate at the top and stop circulating. Now, if you're advocating that we don't inject money into the economy anymore, I'm on board with you. I agree with you. But if we don't inject money in the economy, then we've got to figure out a way to get money circulating. And the only way to get money circulating is to take the money that's not circulating and incentivize it to circulate, which means taxes, which means increasing pay for people and forcing people who are hoarding the money to circulate the money.
And do you know what happens when you increase pay? Your burger at McDonald's goes up. Everything goes up.
Yeah. So you don't have any solutions whatsoever. Yeah, but if we don't increase pay, do you know what happens, DZ? We have to keep injecting money into the economy. The reason we have to keep injecting money is because people can't afford to live. So what's your solution?
And when you keep injecting money into the system, it makes it even harder for the poor to live.
It doesn't.
How is that the answer?
No, it doesn't make it harder for the poor. No, it gives
less valuable.
No, let me explain how this works.
Really?
Yes, really.
I know exactly how this works.
Okay, explain to me how our U.S. economy works. Explain what happens to that money. Where does that money? Let's talk about COVID. Let's talk about the money we've. Hold on. That was the middle of a sentence.
Oh, now he's mad.
No, I was just talking loud, so you'd be quiet. So you brought up COVID. You brought up the money that we gave out during COVID. Where did that money wind up?
Where did that money wind up?
Yeah, we put it into the economy. We gave it to people who were hurting, who couldn't pay their bills. They go out and they pay their bills and they buy things. Where does the majority of that money wind up?
There's more money circulating right now than there ever has been.
Where does that money wind up?
In our pockets, I guess. There's more money circulating right now than there ever has been.
Let me help you out with this. During COVID, during those payments, we had the largest transfer of wealth in the history of the United States, and that money went from the poor and the middle class to the top 1%. And did they trickle that? And then did they trickle that back down? They did not, which is why we keep having to inject money, because our system doesn't work. The whole point of injecting money the whole point of injecting money is to get money circulating, right? But the money just goes to the top. It's not circulating. That's what our money's supposed to do. The 1% just holds on to it. They don't put it back down in the economy. If our economy was working, we wouldn't have to inject.
Why would they hold on to an asset that is losing value? Why would they hold on to that?
Why do you hold on to
the
currency?
top 1% is not holding on to USD, my friend. I'm sorry.
It is inflated.
Why would they hold on to
They are, my friend.
Why would they hold on to an asset?
What are you going to trade? What are you going to trade it for?
For an appreciating asset.
Okay, so let's say let's talk about that. So let's say I'm a 1%er and I've got $5 million, and it's just sitting there.
Yep.
I don't want to hang on to that money because it's not doing anything. So I go out and I spend $5 million and I buy property. And I put that money into the economy, and that money goes into the seller. I don't know, the seller may have debt, but that $5 million goes to the seller, to the broker, whoever it might be, right? And then that money is circulated back through the economy, and then it goes to the top and it stops again. Basically, in order for the money to keep circulating in the system that you're talking about, billionaires just have to be buying like billions of dollars worth of stuff all the time just to keep it circulating. And they're not. And they're not doing
They are.
that. No, they're buying. They're not.
I'll tell you right now.
Then we wouldn't have to inject money, dude. If it was fucking working,
right
no, don't tell me right now. Tell me how.
I'll tell you right now.
If that's happening, then why do we have to keep circulating new money in? Explain it.
I will tell you right now, my friend.
Please do. Explain
if I was
how.
a billionaire,
No, explain how.
If
billionaires,
I was a
no,
billionaire,
okay. Explain how.
if I was a billionaire, I would not be holding USD. That's
okay,
fact.
but that's not even close to an answer to the question that I asked. The question I asked is if they're doing that, then why do we have to keep injecting money into the economy?
If they're doing what? What's your question?
If they're circulating the money, then why do we need to keep putting money into the economy?
That's why I don't like Biden printing as much money as he has. He has printed more money out of thin air.
So okay,
to support wars.
Gotcha. So hold on. No, we didn't print money to support wars. That's stupid. The money that we printed, shush. The money that went out during COVID was meant to go to people who couldn't pay their bills. The stimulus checks.
People here.
Be quiet, dude. The stimulus checks, those went out to people who couldn't pay their bills. They paid their bills. The money went through the economy. It went to the top. It stopped. Then we have to keep circulating new money. I will ask you one more time, and I need you to understand, DZ, that at no point, when I've asked this question 5 times, have you come remotely close to anything that could be considered an answer to what I'm asking. So I'm going to ask one more fucking time. If it's working, then why do we need to keep putting money into the economy?
If what is working? You be a little
if the
more
money is
specific.
if the money is trickling down, if the billionaires are circulating the money, then why do we need to keep putting money into the economy?
I didn't say that they were. Now you're putting words in my mouth. Never said that they were circulating the money.
Yeah, you
I said
did.
that
That's exactly what you said. You said
they
they're not.
are transferring
You said
USD
they're
to an
not
appreciating asset.
Right. You said they're not. They're not going to sit on that cash. They keep it circulating. It's what we were talking about, pal.
No,
literally what we've been talking about. Look at the comments. Everybody knows this is what we were saying. No, you don't get to run from this. So are you now admitting that the money's not circulating?
Dude, that's what I was saying from the beginning.
Okay, so if the money's not circulating, how do we fix it?
You want me to listen
Okay,
to
so
you,
if the money's not okay, I heard you. If the money's not circulating, if the money's not circulating, if the money's not circulating, my friend, if the money's not circulating, how do we fix it?
You only want me to listen to you. You won't listen to anything
I'm asking
I
you
say.
a question. It will be your opportunity to speak. I'm asking you a question for your answer. If it's working or if it's not working. Now you're saying it's not working. It's not circulating. So how do we get the money to circulate?
No, you just put words in my mouth.
I'm asking you. What are you talking about? Is the money circulating from? Are the billionaires circulating the money or no? Are the billionaires circulating the money or no?
They're moving it into another currency that is appreciating.
And is it?
Do you not understand that?
I heard all that. You have no idea what you're talking about. Is it still circulating through the economy?
Not really, dude.
Not really. Okay, so how do we fix it?
That's a good question.
It is a good question, and I've got the answer for you. Would you like the answer?
After Biden has printed as much money as he has,
shut up.
How do we fix it?
Yeah.
How do we fix that?
I can tell you. You want me to tell you how to fix it?
Sure.
You have to incentivize. You have to incentivize the rich to circulate the money. And the incentives that we've given them now in forms of tax breaks, those don't work. They don't circulate it. What you have to do is you have to incentivize them to pay their workers a lot more money from the top down. There's no reason that wealth needs to accumulate with one person. All these big corporations, they are beholden simply to their stockholders. So anytime their stock price dips and they have a problem, the first thing they're going to do is cut wages and fire people. So the stock price will go back up because then you have better margins, right? We're incentivizing the wrong behavior. We're incentivizing them to care only about their stock price and only about hoarding wealth. So what you do is you put a cap on income and you say every dollar above this amount of income you're going to tax all the way up to 90%. 90% of every dollar after $10 million, you can either pay it to the government or
Jesus.
you can not make $10 million and you can have your
Okay.
employees make more money. And before, I'm not quite done. And this has happened in our country. The time when our middle class was the most robust, the time when we were innovating the most, the time when more people could afford houses, could afford savings, the time when we were strongest, the top tax bracket was 90%.
Okay. Can I ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
Did you go to college?
Yes.
Did you get good grades?
Not really.
No?
Not really.
So you didn't try very hard?
Mm-mm.
You didn't try hard?
No.
You didn't put no effort into college?
Very little. I retain information and I take tests well. I did very little. I went to a community college and then a state college, and I did enough to get my degree.
Is there anything that you have put a lot of effort into?
Yeah, I've built a couple of businesses from the ground up and sold them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What else?
I try to be a really good dad. I played sports growing up. I played sports in college. I worked really hard on that. I worked really hard to learn how to play golf well.
All right, let's go back to the school.
I've worked pretty hard at building this platform you're on right now.
I'll just go back to the school example.
Okay.
So if you're in school, you're in college, you're working your balls off to get A+. Yeah, I'm saying the kid that is.
Mm-hmm.
The kid that's fucking dedicated, he wants to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that kid deserves to give the kid who ain't doing fuck like you were, lower his grade to kind of average out the whole class?
Lots of schools do that. It's called a curve. Happens all the time.
Do you think that's fair?
I don't care about it. I don't care about grades. Why do I care about grades? Well, why do you care about grades? Who cares?
That's an example.
There's a lot of people that graduated with better grades than me who didn't wind up starting their own business and employing people.
His balls off to learn everything
Who says he learned more?
He's working his balls off, dude. He studied. You're over there sitting your ass off drinking.
I didn't
you
drink
get the same grade he does.
I didn't drink in college. I didn't have my first drink till I was like
that ain't fair,
late
bro.
20s.
That kid was working his balls off to get
not fair?
A+. Now he has to average out his grade because you're over there sitting on your ass drinking beer because you know it's gonna.
I don't drink. How many times I didn't drink? Well, I do drink now. I didn't drink. Oh, okay.
Fucking do crack. I don't know what the hell you do, but.
Well, no, I was playing sports and I was trying to get laid a lot.
Okay, so you're out there trying to get fucking laid.
Yeah, and you know what happened? You know what happened when he graduated? He got really high level jobs. He got job offers.
Why?
You did too, though. Because he had. No, I didn't. I started. No, I started my. No, I got no job. No, I didn't. I got no offers. I started my own business.
You got the same grade he did.
I didn't have the same grade. I didn't have the same grade.
You guys,
He had better grades than me. What are you talking about? These arguments, man. This is, by the way, if you guys like the Patrick Bet David podcast, if you haven't heard it, this is literally, there's a guy named Patrick Bet David who makes these same dumbass arguments where he tries to create a story and make it fair. I wasn't advocating that everybody gets paid the same amount of money. By the way, no more guests, please. I'm past my cutoff. I wasn't advocating that everybody get paid the same amount of money. I was advocating that people not be allowed to hoard all of the wealth. If you're making $10 million and then you get taxed 90 cents for every dollar after that, you're still making way more than everybody else, and you can afford to pay your workers more. It's fine. Nobody was advocating that everybody make the same amount of money, but this is the problem with MAGA, and we learned this today. I gave MAGA the opportunity to convince me that I shouldn't vote for Democrats all day, and all we learned about MAGA is that they're just going to come on here and they're going to complain about things, and they have no real solutions. And I would invite anybody here that's MAGA who wants to come back tomorrow to come back tomorrow. Let's talk about it. Tell me what your solutions are. Outside of complaining about Joe Biden, do you have anything to say? And no offense if you don't. We've all been there. But like we're coming up on the election. It's time for you guys to start understanding like what you're voting for and what your vote means. When you vote for MAGA, you're voting for fascism. You're voting for grievances. You're voting for vindication, for retribution. You're not voting for any policies that are going to make your life better. There's not a single Republican policy I've heard proposed from anybody today or in the last couple of weeks that in any significant way would better any of your lives, Republican or Democrat. There's not a single policy they've advocated for that is fixing anything. So just remember that. Just remember, like, when if you're shaking your head, if you're one of the guests that was here today, just remember you were the one that didn't have answers. It was you guys. You're the ones that didn't have answers today. You couldn't cite anything. You couldn't get... I asked that dude 10 times. What's the solution? I don't know. Let's talk about grades. Let's talk about that. And Dustin, I don't boot anybody, by the way. I kept that same idiot here for like an hour. I don't boot anybody. I didn't boot that person. My hands were right here. That person ran, just so you know. By the way, for those of you with the worried about the time change, I did not change my time. Wait, what? Am I in... What's the time mountain? Is it 1 p.m. Mountain Time right now? Michael, don't think I was open-minded with him. Michael, I asked him 5 times to explain like what he would do differently. He couldn't give me an answer. How much more open? I asked him for like, what are you going to do differently? Yeah, so we are. Yeah, so it's 1 p.m. My time now. I'm not on Pacific now. Arizona doesn't have daylight savings, so we just stay the same time all the fucking time, which is terrific. But it sucks for everybody else. So now I'm going to be on 8:30 to 12:30 Pacific Standard Time. So that'll be, I do that, or 8:30 to 12 Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you guys join in and catch Whisper. He'll be going live, I think, in an hour. Mr. Jones, Chaotic Dad, thanks for coming up. Anything else? Oh, yeah. Thanks for those that clicked on the product link there. I appreciate it. You can join the Discord if you need an invite to the Discord. Shoot me or Jen or Infectious Bites or Korean Leftist an invitation. As a reminder, I do offer subscriptions. Mine are $2.99. A third of that goes to me, which is terrific. A whole third of that. YouTube, I post these replays on YouTube every day, so you can go there and subscribe. That's free to do. Discord's free to do. Clicking like, clicking share, all that stuff's free to do. So for those that want to support just by that way, I would greatly appreciate it. For those that want to support other ways, there are links in my bio for merchandise, for Cash App, for Venmo, and obviously the products that we put up here. But thank you guys so much for the support. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I'll see you guys later today on somebody's live at some point. And got some announcements coming up this week, some changes coming up this week, so you'll want to stand by. We're adding some people kind of to the team that you'll see a little bit more, and that's it. Thank you, everybody. I will see you tomorrow morning.